How's it going, everybody? It's been a bit. Welcome back to some Carthage Firebirds. Tonight's R6 team, Rainbow Six Siege, playing the Central Methodist University Eagles. I'm excited. It has been a very, very long time. Couple of weeks since we saw last season. We've last seen some Rainbow Six Siege, so I'm excited to see what our team has in store for us, especially since we do have our captain is out sick tonight, I believe. So we do have our sub coming in, Wialku, who I am so excited to see. An ex-G2 player, potentially kind of asterisk, tried out for a G2, I think. Not on G2 because he's here, but I am super excited to see what the team has in store from us. I am your host, the Bearded Man. I'm joined by the wonderful, I think I've always said wonderful, the terrific, I think it's terrific, the fantastic Toner.
I will take that. I will take that. Thank you.
It's been a bit, so I haven't been writing down these adjectives. But, how are you? Are you excited? It's been a bit. So
it's been a long time. As I've been just sitting in my room, just so sad.
Yeah,
we haven't been casting.
I know.
It's just I cannot wait. We got a new season, and it's just gonna be wonderful.
I am so excited to see if we see some new operators. So for Rainbow Six Siege, the new season started, I believe, 2 weeks ago. And with that new season came the new operator, Brava, who I'm so hoping we do see tonight, who has completely changed the playing field. And I also know that IQ is out of the picture tonight, still on quarantine. The operator had a very broken glitch.
Oh, what was it?
I believe it was, from what I was told, you could still see a Solis or a pulse if they weren't using their gadget, which is not what you want, because
I think that's pretty balanced.
Yeah,
I like that.
I heard that they fixed it in a patch today, but they're still waiting a week while they make sure that everything is fixed. So we will not be seeing IQ tonight, which honestly might change it up quite a bit. IQ was a very, very good operator to see in these games because gadgetry is so important, and IQ having a device that will detect any sort of electronics through walls, very, very powerful when that's such an important part of the game. So I'm excited to see what we have tonight. But before we go into the game, let's meet the players. Welcome back, everybody. I just realized that Xerxes' name and that is I Love Sidney Crosby, and I just felt, I can't believe that. As a Blackhawks fan, I just, hurts to see that. But I love this team this season. We have seen some excellence from this team. 4-1 in the season, only losing their first week. What are some key highlights that you've seen from this team that you really think they do well?
Constant improvement. Like, they take all the losses, all the rounds that they've lost on, and they just build upon it. And they're just, the synergy compared to, like, back the first week compared to now, like, it's unimaginable how much improvement that we've seen. Like, this team is super coordinated, and the strategies that they've been implementing, I've been loving every second of it. So hopefully we see even more of that tonight. Oh yeah, I got a special shout out to Twan, Xerxes, and Teshi, the newcomers this season. Are just phenomenal players. Oh yeah.
Oh my! It is such an amazing thing to see new people come in, having to adapt to a team, but just being able to perform so well automatically. Their mechanical skills are unmatched, And I think, being able to integrate into a team, being able to adapt to this new setting for them because they're used to probably solo queuing online, the matchmaking, whole different experience. Adapted so well, and I love to see all these amazing plays. And Quizby and Ice Helix, phenomenal players returning, especially. But I really have to say I love just watching every week this Rainbow Six Siege team. Such an amazing team to watch. Now Wealku though joining the team tonight. What do you think? What are you expecting? What are you hoping to see, and what are you hoping not to see?
I'm hoping to see a bunch of aces and hopefully not getting aced.
Yeah, you've heard it here first. If Wealku does not get an ace tonight, you have disappointed Toner. And how dare you?
I will not smile.
You will not smile.
For a full minute.
A whole wow.
A whole minute.
Okay. Wow, what a record. All right, but tonight's matchup is going to be the same, best of 5, because we are nearing the end of the regular season though. We are nearing playoffs, so I am excited to see how that goes. I'm so excited to see how these teams do in that playoff, and hopefully, I'm hoping we see some championship presence from one of the teams this season. But Rainbow Six best of 5 going to, I believe it's best of 7 in the playoffs, which is a whole endurance round there.
Yeah, I mean, like we talk about endurance only for these 3 rounds. But, oh wow, it's going to be amazing on this one. They're really going to grind for it.
Yeah, definitely. But map 1 of tonight, we are going to be seeing the Firebirds attacking first on Oregon, a map the Firebirds know and love. I'm not a big. I have hit or miss with this map sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends how I'm feeling. Depends on the weather. But the bans, what do you think we're going to see on the bans here? Thatcher's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm going to say Dokkaebi. I mean, Dokkaebi has we've been seeing this ban like for the past few weeks. It's just like because now Dokkaebi being a 3-speed, is that it's a really good ban.
I think Dokkaebi so this is something that I would argue with people all the time. It's Thatcher and Dokkaebi who are kind of on the same ground there, both of them allowing you to basically spot in some way any sort of roamers or kind of figure out the location of the defenders. Dokkaebi having the audio component, though, Jackal having the visual component. Jackal, I think, is a little bit more overpowered because it's a loud game. There's explosions happening. There's so much stuff happening. But ultimately, it just depends on how you're feeling, how the team is feeling.
Yeah.
Jackal is just kind of an easier person to play with, whereas Dokkaebi is more powerful, I think, because you don't need those footprints to scan. Mira, though, great ban on this map, especially. I love Mira. I love playing Mira on this map. Hate playing against her.
Oh, for sure. Mira's never a fun operator to play against, especially when you have a good Mira. Which a
Solis ban.
I like
Honestly,
that.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I think Solis is just such a powerful operator at this point, being able to detect any sort of electronics through walls as a defender is a very impressive thing and thing you don't want to deal with. So
for sure. The only thing I say the negative for her is that it's only for gadgets, So that's why I lean more towards Pulse, because you can see anyone that has a heartbeat. That'd be kind of cool if they put a robot in Rainbow Six Siege that doesn't have a heartbeat, then they can't see it. But
Iana should. Iana's a drone sometimes, but we'll see how this goes. Now the Firebirds are going to be attacking round number 1. The Eagles, though, going to be on defense, running that Malusi, Frost, Bandit, Kaid, and Valkyrie. Double electricity here on second floor bedroom. What do you think about that?
I like it. It's just going to slow down the attackers a lot more. And yeah, the way that they're setting this up, having that Frost and that Malusi, that's going to be really powerful. I'm really liking this.
Malusi is I love playing Malusi on this site especially. It's such a powerful person. Now, we do see the Malusi can be roaming a little bit. Can be staying in that meeting room, but it looked like Ice Helix had a drone underneath one of those benches, so the Firebirds are probably going to expect it. The Firebirds on this attack running a Maverick, Ace, Ash, Montaigne, and a Nomad. Now, double hard breach, a lot of explosives here, and Tuan on that Montaigne. I'm loving this. I think, as we can see, Tuan going into that bedroom area, probably with Teshi there. A really good duo there. Ace and Montaigne on this bedroom site is going to be able to open up a lot of really good angles on this site. Unfortunately, though, it is a little bit of electricity there, stopping any sort of hard breach there. But maybe we're going to see somebody go from below and destroy that electricity, and we see Ice Helix doing just that. Great read. I'm glad I caught that. It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you predict the future sometimes. You got your tarot cards out.
Yeah. But we do see Ice Helix taking this little bit of a window angle, getting a pick on the bandit right away. Great angle there. Xerxes taking out Boosted there. A Kaid out of the picture is going to be another great pick. 5-3 is such a good number to have. And I'm really excited to see this continue the push. And they're not even halfway through. There's a minute 35 left on the clock. The Firebirds have already picked off 2, almost 3. We do see Ice Helix trying to do a little bit of a firefight with that Melusi, doing a decent amount of damage, but it wasn't enough. They do know somebody's in armory, though. And Tuan making sure to roam in. Wialku taking out one of the players from taking out one of the Eagles, and Tuan is the only one in armor trying to take out this Melusi. Unfortunately, Ice Helix was down in the process, so he wasn't able to get the finishing blow, and Tuan alone. But there we're going to see Teshi taking out the pick. Looks like we're having a little bit of a lag spike here. But that was still really well done, though. Unfortunately, Ice Helix being downed, a little bit of a difficult situation for Tuan to kind of 1v1 that Melusi, but it worked out. Teshi can be planting the diffuser here onto site. Firebirds take out the remaining Eagle player and finish the round near. I wouldn't say. Now they lost 2 people in the fight, but I'd say that was pretty flawless.
Oh, for sure.
I think it boils down to almost like chess. You got to sacrifice a pawn sometimes. It's very important that it's communication. A person dying does not put any sort of it puts a slight disadvantage there, but it's not the end of the world in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of worth it there, just trying to apply the pressure to the Melusian armory. And, they had some players to spare, so they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, try and get rid of that roamer, then you only have to deal with the ones on site. I love the Firebirds, the way that they push that. They push it from multiple different angles, got their picks. It was just beautifully executed.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that Teshi was there making sure not to push the armory, just kind of holding the angle, knowing that Melusi has to come to him instead of him having to go to the Melusi. Great play there by all of the Firebirds in that case, so I'm excited to see what we continue to do on round 2 in basement, which is going to be quite a different change of pace there. But I'm excited to see from the Eagles, we're seeing a Jaeger Smoke, Maestro, Kaid, and Mute. Kind of an interesting comp. We don't really see that often. The Maestro is someone we don't. I think this might be the first time we're seeing him.
Yeah, and choosing, I can't remember which gun that is, but that is not the.
It is the shotgun.
Yeah, the weird.
I think it's called the AA-12?
I think so. What are the rounds called?
The slugs.
The slugs.
Yeah. Meaning you're able to do some really good long-distance shots.
It used to be a complete, like you could destroy so many walls with it. It was disgusting, but then now, having those slug shots, it still is pretty disgusting, but I don't get to see it normally.
Yeah, now the Firebirds running a Maverick Ace, Flores, Montaigne, and Iana against a Mute. That is going to cause a little bit of issues, especially that Flores not being able to properly open up that left side angle of the corner. I always call it blue corner. Not blue corner. No, I call it the side corner. I don't remember what I call it actually. It's been a bit. But that's such a key area to open up because once you are able to kind of turn to the left immediately out those doors, hold that angle, clear out that corner, you are able to kind of just walk on a site there. It's such a important site. We see here Ice Helix trying to do a little bit of a trick there, activating the Flores drone and then jumping. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get any sort of notable explosion. I think Tuan taking a ton of damage. Unfortunately, Teshi taken out of the picture as well. This is interesting. The Firebirds kind of a little bit of an upset here. Ice Helix, though, taking out the Jaeger. And we're seeing the Mute Jammer at the staircase finally being taken out there. Ice Helix trying to bait out maybe a flash grenade using that audio cue. Flashing the ground, hopefully hitting one of the Eagles players at the bottom of the staircase. Wialku has pushed into Freezer, holding a really nice angle onto the site. waiting for somebody to kind of cross into that line of sight, taking them out. We do see Wialku being joined by, I believe that was Xerxes to his right. And we are seeing just a lot of the Firebirds kind of take it a little bit slower this round, it seems.
They're being more precise just because there's some really great defense by the Eagles so far.
Unfortunately, though, Ice Helix taken out. You got to be wary about that smoke, because smoke is the greatest counter to a Montaigne. Being able to just cause any sort of damage beyond that shield, not really having to worry about it. And the fact that Tuan is so low health right now, Wialku is the only one remaining. Taking one of the players out, though, taking a little bit of damage there, and unfortunately being downed. It is now Tuan versus 3, basically. I don't think Wialku is going to be able to get up. You know, Tuan, though, yeah, it's not going to work out. There's the double kill from Sky. A little bit of lag here. It looks like we're going to be doing a rehost here. On the Firebirds are going to need a rehost here. So we are going to take a quick, like maybe a minute-long break while we get that rehost situated, get the lobby remade, and hopefully the lag is going to be a little bit better when we come back. So don't go anywhere. Grab some popcorn. We'll be right back.
please stand us a sign? 'Cause we can't see that.
Hey, you down there, it's me, don't you see? Hey, you down there, it's me, don't you see? Hey, you
We can't find you anywhere.
it's me.
Or you up in the sky. Can you please stand us a sign? 'Cause we can't see that high.
It's me, don't you see? Hey, down there, it's me, don't you see? We can't find you anywhere. It's me. Are you up in the sky? Hey, can you please stand us aside? It's me. 'Cause we can't say hi.
Welcome back, everybody. After some technical difficulties, and I'm hoping we're back. Hoping we don't have to deal with that again. We had to rehost. We are back in a new lobby with a new server to have to continue our match. We ended it off 1-1 for both teams. Firebirds are going to be attacking again on Oregon, and the Eagles are going to be defending. Now, on that defense, that last round, the Firebirds lost it. I'm not going to say it was due to the lag, but the Firebirds were very much lagging. You could see on the stream it was tripping us up as commentators because we were like, what's happening? It looks like stuff's happening that we skip. But did you notice anything else going wrong that you think was definitely causing some issues?
Not really. I mean, the only thing I would say would to trying to get some of the hatches, get some of that vertical play in there, because it was just great defense by the Eagles. I say it was really tough to try and push in. I mean, they tried going in through the construction side. It just was not working out. So I'd say try and going for the hatches, trying to be a little bit quicker to find that right placement. I think that would have been beneficial to them. But at the same time, like it was a really tough defense that they were up against. And so hopefully they're going to learn from that. And when we see that site again, that they're going to make the changes and just had that same aggression that we've seen before.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things too, I mean, like you said, they had such a phenomenal defense there. Mm-hmm. The Eagles really, really were able to hold it off. I think the Firebirds, like you said, the vertical play, but also Flores against the mute jammer doesn't work.
Yeah.
As a Flores main, it doesn't work. You know, you can try your best, but it's just very, very difficult. So I think what needed to happen was they had somebody with the frag grenades throw it, destroy one of those mute jammers onto the left of construction. And that would open up that corner, and hopefully they could push in, take out that shield. But ultimately, it didn't work out for them in that favor. And I'm hoping they use these next few rounds to kind of regain that momentum that we saw. Round one was just so amazing to watch. Yeah. Eagles had a pretty good defense there, but Firebirds just had really good line of sights, really good angles, and it worked out for them beautifully. But going on to round three, we do see the Eagles once again on defense, running that second floor bedroom. Do you think that they're gonna change anything up, or kind of just stick with the same strategy that we saw round one?
I think they're going to switch it up a little bit. I mean, right now we're seeing a Doc, which is definitely going to change things up and just be able to heal the allies and themselves.
I think it's a Doc switching off of Bandit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think Doc's not wrong. Doc is not a bad choice by any means. I love playing Doc, but I personally play Doc when I want to play by myself, basically.
Yep.
Just kind of run away, don't play with my team, which is everybody who plays this game hates me for doing that because, you know, when you're playing
I never
Doc,
do. You always frag out, though.
I know. I always, for some reason, it always works out. But when you're playing with a team, that's not what you want because Doc is a supportive character, and when you're playing like me, I'm only supporting
if you
myself.
want it to be.
Only if you want, you know. But I think Melusi, Frost, Kaid, Valkyrie, and Doc for that defense. The Eagles, really good, solid composition there. Firebirds, though, running a Nomad, Maverick, Zero, Ace, and Ying. Now, do you recall, did they add the Zero rework in this update?
I think they did. Yeah, so basically what Zero's going to do now is that... I thought that was going to have some damage on it.
he was so confident that was not going to do that, and I got scared.
Oh, that scared me a bit. But yeah, basically, so when his Argus cam will be deployed, it won't appear on the other side until you actually open the camera.
Hang on.
Ooh.
Coach West, no!
Sneaky.
Huelco.
Sneaky.
There's somebody right through that wall. We could see somebody's on the cams right through the wall. But
Sneaky.
we do see Huelco is setting up for any... Yeah, no,
Oh,
we see the
he
pink.
knows.
This is going to be beautiful to see. No! Camera, go back.
Ooh.
Oh, they know. They know, but I'm curious what's this gonna work out.
Spooky, scary, spooky, scary.
Opening up.
He's
they
running.
Run away. Oh, but he got a ton of okay.
There we go.
I was hoping that was gonna be a little bit funnier. But as we were saying, the Argus cams no longer auto deploy to the other side, which is my biggest complaint with Zero, so I'm really happy they're changing that. Meaning that if you deploy it on a wall, it's not going to immediately go through the wall and show it off for the entire enemy team to destroy. So we do see Xerxes, though, is going to be holding an off angle. That being said, Tuan is already on site, throwing those Ying charges in, really making sure to blind everybody who can potentially see on point, making sure to blind every single person. But Icelix entering through that main entrance, though, probably looking for some roamers. You know, I think making sure to go through that armory, making sure that's clear is going to help them out, especially when entering trophy room. We do see that Tuan is still holding like kind of that attic area onto the bedroom rotate. Unfortunately, Teshi is taken out of the picture, but Tuan going to be making sure to use a few more of those Ying charges. Going to be running in with the Ying. Going to be making sure to dodge that Frost Mat. Getting a double kill there. A beautiful double kill. What a play. Unfortunately, though, we are going to be seeing one of the Eagles getting a double play of their own, leaving it to 2 to 3. Firebirds are not in favor of numbers. Unfortunately, it is now Huelco versus the world. Getting one kill there. Unfortunately, not able to get the next. What went wrong there?
Doc. Definitely. I mean, you saw him that like when Kaid ran away, it's just like Doc healed him up, and just like and just a really strong defense again. Like in that bedroom area, is that that was a really tough position. It was a great play by our Ying, but at the same time, is that the word's not working. That's all I got.
I think the biggest thing was we saw that Huelco and I believe Teshi were pushing through attic.
Yeah.
Tuan was already through the attic, kind of moving into bedroom, into kids' room, but Huelco and Teshi were still kind of back in the tower.
Yeah, so no one trying to refrag.
Nobody was trying to refrag. Nobody was kind of supporting Tuan. Tuan was able to push and get 2 kills there, but nobody was there kind of watching his back. And I believe eventually it looked like Teshi kind of pushed in a little bit afterwards, unfortunately got picked off as well by that Eagle player. But you got to make sure that if one person rushes in, you're there kind of ready to push in to get any sort of refrags there.
Oh, for sure.
Especially with the new rework to reloading that was added this past update. Meaning if you reload without it, you reload manually in a sense. So when you shoot all the bullets in your magazine, it'll automatically reload. But if you don't shoot them all and you reload, you'll be left with one single bullet until you finish the animation, which, there's no longer the trick of kind of baiting out any sort of push because, I'm going to play the audio sound of, reloading, but I'm going to fake it out. And stop the reloading. Now it's like if you try and do that, you're not gonna have a good time. You have one bullet.
Well,
to
what
make-
is pretty cool, it's still one-shot headshot. You
It
can
is.
make that one bullet count.
You could if you hit your shots, which is far easier said than done.
Oop.
That being said, Wialku is in that big tower. We're noticing the Malusi is going to be roaming around. Will we see? It does look like Tuan is really holding that staircase, making sure if anybody tries to push in, they kind of detect it and they kind of spot that Malusi running through. Unfortunately, it looks like Malusi's kind of on that bottom floor staircase, holding a really good off angle. Unfortunately, we say that Ice Helix taken out of the picture by Sky there from the Eagles. Will we see more of a compensation? Losing a Gridlock is pretty heartbreaking in all honesty, because Gridlock is great against those roamers. But we are going to be seeing, it looks like Wialku kind of really trying to play a speed game here, making sure to stop any sort of roamers there.
Clearing out be some damage.
Little bit of damage there. Unfortunately, the Firebirds taking out the castle there. Tuan getting a really good angle, and Wialku's going to be probably playing that vertical play in through attic. But slowly and steady, the Firebirds still kind of pushing in. We do see Wialku having that claymore there, making sure anybody pushing through that attic, any sort of defenders trying to go through a back push are going to have a pretty bad time there. Especially when you have that vertical play.
Yeah, but I think like no one is up there right now, so I think it's just there to waste the Firebirds' time, almost like a fake out.
Yeah, I mean the vertical play is very important, but I think, like you said, it might be just kind of stalling them a little bit. You know, forcing some of these hard breach
I thought it
charges.
was basement. Never mind.
Unfortunately, Xerxes taken out. Tuan, though, going to be running in with that Ying charge again. Will it work out? Unfortunately, the Malusi trap's there, and it wasn't
dear.
enough of a flash grenade. It is 1v4 again. Wialku versus the world. The Firebirds not doing so hot right now, and I'm not quite sure what's really going wrong. They're just kind of playing, I think, individual matches. We're seeing a lot of solo plays not being met up by another person, but they're pushing together up until that very last second. Wialku, though, getting a really good reaction time on that Malusi, evening out just slightly. Now 15 seconds left on the clock, and it is not looking so good.
Yeah. Oh nope.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there you go. Sky getting that last kill on the Wialku. Firebirds not getting the upper hand. A lot is going wrong here, and I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what it is, because it's not anything that we've seen before, really. It seems like it's definitely probably the 2 weeks off of having a bye week the week before a spring break did not help them.
I think mainly it's just trying to adjust to new information and all that. It's taking a little bit more time, because like first you'll see some good synergy of people pushing together in groups, either in groups of 2 or 3. But then all of a sudden, something will prohibit them from like pushing forward as a team. Like upstairs, no one was upstairs, and they spending all the time reinforcing. And at first I did thought it was basement, so I was like, okay, wait. But when it was kitchen, it just confused me why there wasn't anyone up there. But at the same time, Firebirds took a lot of time to try and clear all that out, but it was all individual work being done. So hopefully we can see something a little bit different, them adjusting to new information this time around.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we see some change up here, because of this they are no longer really having. It looks like they might be getting down to that mentality of making sure they need to kind of keep focused, keep positive, stay positive, have a great time. But on round 5, the Eagles still on that defense, running Jaeger, Smoke, Kaid, Mute, and Maestro, whereas the Firebirds on attack look like they're running Hibana, Iana, Osa, Ash, and Montaigne.
Hibana Yana.
Hibana Iana.
That'd be a good name for a restaurant.
Will it?
Hibana Yana.
Would it, though?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Ice Helix running that Osa might help them a little bit, especially pushing in from above. You got to make sure, though, that not all the Firebirds are pushing that top floor, because, I mean, Teshi looks like going to be having that tower clear. A little bit more lag there again. Wow, unfortunate there. Hopefully that isn't going to continue. That might be unfortunate if we continue to have these lagging issues. The Mute Jammer, though, is on that staircase once again, and it looks like Tuan probably expecting somebody is going to be right at that under the stair area. I forget what it's called, but I think it's called I think it's actually called Harry Potter. I swear.
Really?
I swear I've heard the call out of calling it Harry Potter because it's under the stairs. Oh, unfortunately though, Wialku using that Iana drone baiting out one of the players from the Eagles, and it did look like Xerxes getting a pick on the Jaeger. Wialku using the Iana drone, all about intel, and we are seeing more vertical play going to be opening up that top hatch with that Kaid claw, but it's not going to be enough because Ice Helix having those pocket EMPs going to be very helpful here, especially now that they have basically an area onto site. They just have to kind of angle it properly. Xerxes trying to make sure trying to see if they could get any sort of easy picks there. Unfortunately not. Xerxes though making sure to rotate around, open up another hatch.
There we go.
Beautiful hatch there. Beautiful decision there by Xerxes.
And
Tuan,
now
though,
they just have options.
They do. Now here's the thing. Tuan unfortunately has a lot of damage taken as Montaigne. And I think it's because we've been seeing like C4s being thrown at him. Ooh. You just got to be careful though.
Oh.
Teshi missing a ton of those shots unfortunately, but doing a decent amount of damage in the process. It is now 4 against 3. As I say that, Tuan getting a really good kill. Double kill there from Jawler, though, from the Eagles.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Not much time left.
Yeah, 30 seconds remain. Firebirds need to push.
I'm liking the strategy, but you got to be careful because of those smoke grenades.
Yeah.
Really going to cause issues in those last few seconds of the round. Icelix, though, getting picked, just poked through a small angle there. Xerxes finally dropping onto point. Will we see any sort of replay there? Unfortunately, meeting the shotgun point blank. 2 seconds left, and none of the Firebirds are able to push in those last few seconds. I think it was just speed there. I think it really came down to speed there.
I think speed and just the Eagles are playing this super safe. They're holding their angles and they're just making sure they're not going to get pushed off of their own site. Like this is a very, very terrifying defense from the Eagles, which I'm loving. But Firebirds, they opened up all the angles and
it was slow.
To no avail.
I think it just came down to it was very slow. I think Wialku pushing through that freezer, but wasn't at the doors until like the timer ticked down. So like you got to be careful with that. You got to be pushing. You can't save it for those last few seconds. We saw Tuan really working on that staircase for a majority of the game, and the rest of the Firebirds kind of just seemed to be kind of running around or taking their time, and it really caught up with them.
I would love at this, like when they're all in their positions ready to push, you go 3, 2, 1 all at once. Yeah. And just make it a big team deathmatch.
Make it a big TDM. But again, round 6, I believe it's the last round for these rolls. Eagles on this defense once again on the second floor, running a Malusi, Frost, Kaid, Kapkan, and Doc. Now Kapkan, we've seen many, many times in the past. A lot of fun plays where it comes down to the last second. And honestly, I think it's going to work. I think I'm calling it here. I'm calling it here. We're going to see one of those last second kills, you know.
And then we see the ragdoll going.
Yeah. Yeah, what's going to happen is Kapkan's going to plant down those charges, and then there's going to be one Firebird remaining, and they're going to get picked off in the last, while, trying to run around and stop the clock, kind of beat the remaining Eagles.
And especially the way that the Firebirds have been playing this so far is that it's going to go down to the wire too, and they're going to get tripped up by the Kapkan traps. So hopefully that doesn't happen, is that there's going to be some good picks, early on picks, and then they can just move from that.
Yeah. Teshi using that Iana drone on the roof, which is a very, very smart play there.
Oh, dear.
Unfortunately, more lag coming from Teshi is very heartbreaking to see. But hopefully it's not.
Oh, this is the glitch.
Hopefully it's only on our end and not.
I don't think so.
end.
This is like the same glitch I've been having for a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah, where like your game will freeze up for a couple seconds, you'll be able to move around, and then it freezes up again. I hope it's not. It's not that, but on this side it does look like it is the case.
Yeah, a little bit heartbreaking to see Xerxes is pushing through attic, making sure to slowly but surely do it. We are seeing that Lucy trap open up, but Xerxes was able to destroy it. Minute 30 left on the clock. Xerxes focusing on the meeting room, the meeting hall, instead of focusing on the rest of the team. or rest of the site. And there we see Ice Helix using those Argus cams to hopefully take out some sort of electronics there. Decent push there. Unfortunately, we can see that there is going to be an Eagle player roaming from behind. Can hopefully not cause any issues for the Firebirds, but we will see just how that goes, especially when you have a Nomad.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
There's a lot of people who like to focus and save Nomad for that, for the post-plant game. But you just got to use them for those anti-roamers. Now we are seeing Tuan run in. That was a...
Oh.
There was a... No, that was a down.
Oh, it's a
there.
down.
I was going to say, I thought that was a trade. Yeah, taken down in the process. Unfortunately, Sky also being spotted by one of the Firebirds. Firebirds pushing in slowly. 30 seconds left on the clock, though. Xerxes should plant on bedroom. And I think that's what we're going to see once he sets up that Nomad trap here. And here we go. We are seeing the diffuser being planted by Xerxes and Ice Helix taking out Sky. It is now just that Melusi, who we saw. The Melusi was roaming around. And
Hey,
there we go. Running into the trap card. Wealku able to get that really nice peek, taking out that Melusi, who was probably not expecting that. So beautiful play there. Not without a few issues there from the Firebirds, but just an improvement, I think.
For sure. Yeah, hopefully this time around, now that we're on defense, we can see some of these big shots. Because this map, it can go either way. Just a really strong defense, a really strong offense. Because this map, it's been in for so long. It's beloved by everyone. Everyone knows all the strats. So it's really how you can improve, adapt, and perfect. So hopefully we can see that on defense. It looks like, oh, wow, we see a clash.
We do
I'm
see
liking
a clash.
that.
The Firebirds on their first round of defense running a Valkyrie, Jaeger, Smoke, Mute, and Clash. 3 British operators. 3 British operators, 1 German, and 1 American.
I like
Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, yeah.
Look at you with all the lore.
With all the lore,
I love
it. It is a international anti-terrorism task force. I know the game. I know the story of the game. This ain't my first rodeo. Now the Eagles are on attack, running a Ying, Maverick, Kali, Iana, and Ace. Where's Kali from? I realize I don't know.
Kali? India.
India,
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Iana's from space. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. But what a beautiful, beautiful composition there for the Eagles. Hopefully the Firebirds can really defend against a lot of that. That Kali's going to be someone they're probably going to have to watch out for because this site has some really good sight lines they could open up with that Kali.
Oh, yeah. But at the same time is that going inside the map, that's a little bit more difficult for it. It is a little bit more close quarters, so if you miss your shot, you're going to get punished for it. But if you play it well and you can hit your shots, I mean, it's one of the best operators, especially on this map.
Oh, yeah. That being said, though, a Kali against the Clash, that is someone you got to really watch out for. Because Kali's sniper rifle will be able to stagger Clash with a single shot. And that is the opposite of what you want when you're playing Clash. You do not want to be able to, move your shield around. But Tuan, though, we have seen some really impressive plays as Clash. Being able to, I think at one point, taking out 3 people, having a really good,
oh, yeah.
I remember there was a play having basically swapping to the sidearm and then using the shield on his back to kind of soak up all the bullets. We call it turtling.
A little bit of turtling.
We call it turtling. Using the shield on the back to soak up any of those bullets. We do see, though, a few of the Eagles pushing in through attic.
Oh,
why did it look like it was why was it look
I
like
know,
it was a
doesn't
crewmate?
it? It does look like
a crewmate.
Oh, no, don't ruin it.
That might have been intentional, and if there is a CMU person watching, that was intentional. I love that. I love that.
The artistry
I need to do
skills,
that.
I
need to do that more. We do see the Iana taking a ton of damage. Unfortunately, though, Xerxes not able to finish them off. Jollar having 6-1 right now on the KD there. 6-1-1, so KDA. Beautiful to see. Unfortunately, Kali getting that snipe on Wealku. Teshi taking out Boosted, but we're seeing Tuan get flashed by that Ying. I'm not quite sure where the Kali is. I think the Kali is still in the attic, so I'm not quite sure how they got an angle on Wealku. Ice Helix, though, taking out Iana. What a beautiful, beautiful pick there, tying it up 3-3. And we're going to be seeing Ice Helix using those smoke grenades to kind of stall out the rounds. Unfortunately, though, kind of in a weird spot here because you got to be careful with those sight lines. The Eagles have that window open to peek through, maybe get a pick there. They have, the attic is opened up. We're going to be seeing Twan take out the ace, maybe getting a really good pick here. Going to be shocking them, but we do see moving from trophy room. Teshi is switching to the shot. What? How did that happen?
You have run out of time.
How did that happen? I was in the middle of saying that is not what you want to do, and that worked. What? The ace just kind of ran up and wanted to give Teshi a big hug. It looked like what a
Jump scare.
What a play. Unfortunately, we are going to have a technical issue after that. Teshi somehow the Ethernet cable for Teshi's computer is being replaced. So we're going to take a quick 60-second, maybe a little bit longer break after that play because Teshi, even the computer didn't know what just happened. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a few while we get these fixed. We are back after that Ethernet cable has been replaced. Teshi should be fully up and running. They noticed the issue as they fixed it. Something with the Ethernet cable was just very wrong. They said it was just not.
I like the description.
They explained it to me and I didn't hear it. I wasn't listening. I'll fully admit that.
I think it said it was
yeah.
It was bent.
It was bent
a little bit.
There was a term used that I was just I'm a computer science major. I don't know what. I was not paying attention. I was still laughing at that play that we saw with Teshi. I 100% still just in awe of what we saw, despite having the lag, despite having the weird Ethernet cable, was able to pull off a really beautiful double kill there. That still shocks me that it worked. But the Firebirds are back, hopefully fired up, having a few rounds won. But we are moving on to round number 8. Firebirds on defense once again. Jaeger, Warden, Smoke, Oryx, and Aruni. Great composition there from the Firebirds. Whereas the Eagles running a Nomad, Flores, Kali, Iana and Ace. Now, we do see the Aruni. We don't see many Arunis, and I love Aruni. And we're seeing that laser gate being put on the soft wall there. Really, really smart choice there by the Firebirds, because it's going to be able to kind of prevent any sort of throwables to go through there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my gosh, that was unfortunate. It has happened to me too many times to appreciate it. The frame, the second that you go to shoot and you rotate, someone will run in front of you. That is not what you want to see.
What I hate the most is that when you just stand there and just like, oh no, I shot my teammate. I am so sorry about that.
That is unfortunate, but it happens way more often than you'd expect. Firebirds taking out the Kali as well. Unfortunately, though, Teshi taken out of the picture, but Teshi was able to get that kill, so it is, I think, Teshi served his purpose, and there is no shame in that. He has done the bare minimum work, I think, I'll say, in this round, but the rest of the Firebirds still holding really good angles, whereas the Eagles, really committing to that construction push. Ice Helix missing a few shots on that drone, but it walked right into Wialku. It's like, oh, hi, how's it going? And able to get that pick, We don't see many drone aces here, I don't think. I wish there was a counter on the scoreboard to show, how many drones has somebody killed.
Wait, is that?
But that's not per player. Xerxes, though, taking out Joller. Xerxes getting a down there, and what? This is a beautiful play by Xerxes.
Whoa!
Xerxes got a 4K there. That was a 4K, and it could have been an ace. And that, technically, he killed the Kali. No, Teshi killed the Kali. So Xerxes got a 3K. Right? Who killed the Kali? Yeah. Okay. Somebody killed the Kali. I think it was. I swear Teshi killed the Kali. But
that was
maybe
so
it wasn't.
awesome.
Xerxes, though, getting a triple kill there I could say for certain it was at least 3K there. Xerxes, I think that was great, holding a really good angle. I think the biggest thing was all of the Eagles were pushing through construction.
Yeah.
And that was just all the Firebirds.
Which is one of the toughest places to push.
It's not, it's a great place to push, but when you have all of your resources devoted to pushing through that, all the Firebirds are just going to turn their aim towards that one doorway that you're pushing through. And it didn't work out for them. But we will see, moving on to round 9, Firebirds finally tying up the score 4-4. Firebirds still on defense, running Oryx, Kaid, Castle, Jaeger, and Mute. Whereas the Eagles still switching it up quite a bit, but I think they're going to be running Nomad, Buck, Sledge, Fuse, and Ace. I was about to say Cluster Charge for some reason instead of Fuse. Now, this is all destruction outside of Nomad.
Oh, yeah.
All destruction. And
Nomad can destroy it. Sometimes.
Okay, very,
very unique, though.
I have maybe seen that twice in my time. Basically, Nomad's charges will send a big concussive blast, knocking back any sort of defenders who activate it, through walls included, but it's not, the scene from Incredibles where Mr. Incredible throws his boss through the walls?
Yeah.
That's what happens with that Nomad charge.
When she first got released, everyone was just like, oh, that's going to be so broken and all that. And, you rarely see it these days, but when you see it, it is so funny.
That was, the main, feature of her character, too, in her trailer. It's like, you're going to be pushing people around and stuff like that. No. It's just I use it as just more of a trip mine, basically. Just like, you're no longer there. You've been here, and now you're over there. And I know you're over there because it's a very loud noise. But, I think a Fuse is going to be an interesting strategy here, especially when the Firebirds have a mute, so I think that's going to help them dramatically. We do see they're running through they're trying to go through attic. Unfortunately, though, the electricity on that wall is going to hinder their push. And we do see there is one Firebird up in that second floor. 2 Firebirds in the second floor, one of which is in the attic holding that rotate into kids' room. Sky is kind of focusing on the kids' room, but I'm hoping the Firebirds kind of don't push. I hope Ice Helix really holds this angle, focuses on noticing that, hey, they need to come to me. We do see Ice Helix. We do see the wall, or the window, that's the word. Window onto attic being taken or busted open. Oh,
there we
beautiful, beautiful pixel there not a pixel, but beautiful read there. We saw Ice Helix and Swolverine seeing each other through the window, having that moment where they look each other in the eyes, and Ice Helix having that quicker reaction time, able to get the pick.
Oh.
What a flick. Wow, that was a very, very fast reaction time from Joller there onto one of the Firebirds. But Firebirds having knocked off a ton of time, 30 seconds left. Will we see the Eagles be able to push in? We do see a lot of the vertical play being opened up, but vertical play is one thing. You have to be pushing out of sight, and it looks like we have a Firebird who's able to really hold down that point. Unfortunately, Wealku taken out, but Twan able to take somebody out as well. And it's just Twan and Teshi at this point pushing through, holding the site. Diffuser has been planted. The rest of the Firebirds really having to focus on it. Unfortunately, Boosty getting a double kill there. Firebirds losing that round. What went wrong there?
I think the Eagles just found good placement. They found the exact places that they could push in, diffuse, and a good place to hold the diffuser. And just once they found the right trajectory, then it was pretty easy from then on. They had the vertical play, and they had the long angle from the hallway.
Yeah.
So overall, it was a great push. It was a great defense from the Firebird, but that one is a really tough site to defend. There's a lot of different factors going into it.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of Siege to be played, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Losing a round is not the end of the world. Rounds don't really matter in the long run. We have round diffs for each team that determines, you know, if two teams have a 4-1 round or a weekly record, they look at the round difference, but even then round differences don't really change anything. Now, Firebirds on defense once again running a Valkyrie, Jaeger, Smoke, Clash, and Mute. Again, 3 British, a German, and American. Beautiful, beautiful composition, though, because Clash, I think, really works, and pairing that with a Smoke. Smoke is really, really useful on this site, especially. Now, looking at the Eagles, having a Nomad, Maverick, Sledge, Zero, and Blackbeard. Blackbeard? What? I was not expecting a Blackbeard tonight.
It could go good, could go bad. It really depends.
Now, the thing about Blackbeard is he has his gadget is a shield that he puts on the front of his gun that basically it's a bulletproof shield, I say with quotes. It takes what, like 1 shot to destroy?
About 2.
2 shots? Now, technically that saves you because it's a 1-shot headshot and it blocks your head. However, a lot of times it's pretty easy to destroy.
Or
so you have to have really
aim
good
where the
reaction
shield
time.
isn't. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So it's very hit or miss. A lot of people don't like playing Blackbeard because of that, because it's like okay, well, I'll just, aim for the body. You don't have to shoot the head to get a kill. And even then, it's like, typically your gun shoots more than 1 bullet. So you destroy the shield and you shoot the head, It's like 3 shots there, hypothetically.
The only thing about it, again, is that the weapons aren't the best either. They're very slow. And not the biggest fan. Used to be broken. I think it was 500 health.
Oh yeah.
On the
200?
shield.
200 or so.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
They kept on nerfing and nerfing and nerfing the shield until eventually they're just like, okay, we'll give them 2 and super low health. So, but still, sometimes in the right hands, that can be the difference. It's just a few frames.
Oh yeah. Now, we do see the Firebirds. We saw Xerxes taking out the Sledge from the Eagles. Beautiful pick there, because they don't have to worry about any sort of... They have to worry about less vertical play here. Unfortunately, though, it looks like Sky and Grinder are able to push in through Attic. That being said, a Clash is a great counter to a Blackbeard. There we go. We see the shield being destroyed from the gun, saving that headshot, able to do a decent amount of damage onto, I believe that was Wealku. But, Wealku is alive and thriving, having a great time in the process. And I think we're going to see a pick here on the Blackbeard. Unfortunately, though, the Clash shield was able to soak up and protect the Blackbeard. Now, that's something that we saw with Kali, and you have to be worrying about Clash. You cannot shoot your Clash in the head because that will kill the Clash. So you got to be watching. You got to be careful with those shots, But beautiful response there by Wealku. Beautiful read. Unfortunately, we see the window being opened up, but because Twan is able to kind of back into the corner, not having much of an issue. Ice Helix taking out Jowler. Unfortunately, Swolverine getting the refrag, but the Firebirds know that Swolverine is there. Going to be planting around the corner. Will we see one of the Firebirds kind of notice where they are and get the pick? We're going to see the C4 go out. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to stop him, but Swolverine is the only one remaining, and now it's 4v1. Will the Firebirds lose this time? Because the diffuser is planted, now the Firebirds are on attack. They have to worry about that. But because Twan is also a Clash, we're just going to see Twan stall the Nomad. And we're going to see Wealku kind of protect it. And Xerxes. we saw Swolverine like completely forget about Xerxes at that point. And Xerxes was just like, oh, hey, remember me? I'm over here, guys. Taking out the Nomad. Now, there's not much you can do as Nomad, though. I didn't see if there were any sort of Nomad charges.
I don't think there was.
Yeah.
No.
So it's unfortunate to see, because I've been in that position before, and it really, when you're at those odds, it is very unfortunate. I'm glad they have the diffuser planted, though, because that is the win condition at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to get 3 kills, but it's easier to basically stall them. Unfortunately, though, when you have a Clash, that is the last person you want to have. That is that really is the greatest way to play Clash, is like, if they plant, you just kind of block off, especially in that one location there where the shield takes up like the entire open area, basically.
And you had to jump in to try and do that, but when you do, creates the audio effect, and then the other Firebirds are just going to go boop.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Xerxes did. Now, that was great teamwork from the Firebirds, though. Twan knew, I'm going to block off the diffuser. Wealku knew, I'm going to destroy the diffuser. And Xerxes was like, we know where the person is, so I'm just going to kind of sneakily hang out from a distance. Now, here's the thing. If Xerxes were picked off there might have, I think there might have been a chance that they would have been able to take it out, because they would have been, hypothetically, let's say they take out Wealku with a really good a really good pick, a really good like read while Clash is moving side to side. The diffuser's not destroyed, and you're against the Clash. Like, that's your win condition. Yeah, you're being slowed, but like, you just kind of run away and wait for the Clash to do something. I don't know. That's in an alternate universe somewhere. But that was a great play by Swolverine, doing the best they could.
Oh, for sure.
Going on to round 11, though, tied 5-5. Firebirds on defense once again. On the basement hold this time, running a Jaeger, Warden, Smoke, Clash, and Aruni. What do you think of that?
I like very much, especially with Warden and Smoke. It's just 2 great defenders to have. Same thing with Aruna. We saw that it killed a lot of time, and that's really what she's used for, and also just prohibiting them from entering the site. It just a mix of really good operators together.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say the Eagles really playing well, like it really causing issues for the Firebirds. So this is by no means a walk in the park for either team, and that's what I like. I like seeing this competition. I like the Firebirds winning. I am very biased. I like the Firebirds winning, but I also like when things are interesting. It keeps me on the edge of the seat. It's not a cakewalk by any means.
Look at that gun skin.
Oh yeah.
Diamond.
Now boosted on the Kali once again. Will we see a teammate run out in front of them? Hard to say. Unfortunately, though, we don't see any sort of defenses on.
Oh, that's a good kill.
That is exactly what you don't want to happen. We saw the corner was basically undefended by any sort of explosives there. Shield taken out, and now the Firebirds really able to push in, especially against that Kali. You cannot afford that.
Dear.
Boosted taking out Wealku. We're seeing Twan get hit more and more by that Kali gun, Kali rifle, and it's just staggering them time after time. We need to see one of the Firebirds kind of retaliate. I don't know why. The Flores drone almost taking Twan out there. We are seeing really good mechanics, though.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to kind of rotate and use the stagger to his advantage and prevent any sort of pick from that Kali. And Twan is still alive and well. And here's the beautiful thing. While that was happening, the rest of the Firebirds really causing issues, mopping them up. Now, we are seeing an Ace and a Flores against Twan. Will Twan be able to pull this off? A 1v2 scenario. Nah, you got to be careful. You got to be smart. And we are going to see him doing a ton of damage to the Flores.
We might see a down. Yeah,
we
there
see
we
a down.
go.
And that is beautiful. It's what you want. So now, We're seeing Tuan reload. Decent amount of time left on the clock, in all honesty. And you just kind of have to read the situation here. Well, now
Oh, wow.
I almost don't want to commentate. Just kind of watch what's happening.
All right, let's see this.
Turtle. Oh! Oh! Tuan,
Quick,
don't go for the
go.
kill. Just go for the yes.
Oh,
That's it. What a play of the night. I told you we were going to see that earlier. We can hear them shouting out there through our noise-canceling headphones, too. What a beautiful play there from Tuan. We've seen that before, and I'm so glad that it happened. It's all about really just focusing. You know, don't panic. You have that ability, especially when he was able to get that down on the ace. It's like, I wouldn't say it was a guaranteed win there, but it's like, there you go. That is what you needed to really increase your odds. You've gambled a few times. What do you think when that happens? When you go from a 2v1 to a kind of a 1v1 there, one of them's down. What do you think the win percentage is going to be?
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
It depends on how you deal with pressure.
Now with Tuan specifically, let's say that. With Tuan
with that, I'd say a good 95%, almost to 100, because an expert player of Clash knows how to turtle well, and there's an important thing about the secondary is that it has a high rate of fire, is that you're at an advantage.
Oh, yeah.
So unless you know when the Clash has turned their back, is that you really got to decide, do I shoot for the feet or do I wait for them to turn around? Because you do have the advantage for that, but you need to be quick.
Yeah.
And with a good Clash player like that is
That was
exactly
beautiful.
the reason why I banned Clash.
Yeah, I think Clash is great. There's a lot. It's very hard to have a good Clash player.
Yeah.
So I don't like banning Clash in my personal games solely because I'm not at a high level to the point where I'm experiencing Clash players like that. But Firebirds on defense once again, 6-5. This is match point for the Firebirds. If they win this, it's great. But if they lose this, we're adding, because it's win by 2.
Yep.
We're adding a few rounds here. It's been about an hour since we started, so this is a very long round, or long map. So hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully. We might see game 3 here, because I think the Eagles have shown that they have that potential of really tying it up again and coming back.
Almost definitely.
In map 2, assuming the Firebirds win this one. Now, Firebirds on defense once again, running an Oryx, Jaeger, Zami, Castle, and Kaid, and it's on that first floor meeting room and kitchen. So against the attackers, Nomad, Buck, Dokkaebi, Fuse, and Blackbeard. Dokkaebi is someone you're going to have to watch out for, because not only can they call everybody and kind of stop or kind of alert for any sort of or find any sort of roamers, but is also going to be able to hack into the cameras if they get a kill. Especially with that Buck playing that vertical play, we see Teshi taken out of the picture, and we're going to see the fuse is going to cause issues. Buck is the one I'd worry about though.
Oh yeah.
That vertical play is just unmatched.
Almost definitely.
I mean, it's matched by Sledge, but the vertical play is really good as Buck.
Yeah, right now you need one good roamer to rotate around, because there's 3 of them up there, and a lot of them are going to be looking down. That's the one big negative part about vertical play. That Nomad is going to help out a little bit. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Tuan is taking out. Jawler, though, taking a ton of damage as well. Going to be kind of rotating around, holding that basement, the back stairs. Ice Helix, though, taking out the Dokkaebi, a great pick there for the Firebirds. Now, here's the thing. I'm confident in the Firebirds. I think we've seen this before where they're able to hold really good angles to the point where it's not about, okay, I say that.
Oh, dear.
They're able to hold angles so the vertical play isn't going to affect them as severely. I say that, though. Ice Helix taken out in the meeting room is going to be really bad for the Firebirds. 1v4, it is now Wialku, but there's 30 seconds left, so if Wialku can somehow change it, I say that Grinder has planted, so the Firebirds really, Wialku specifically, really having to come back and take this back. We're going to get the headshot on Sky. 1v3, though, 35 seconds left. We see some great communication there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the kill, but probably scaring the Eagles player there. I don't want to talk. It's because it's like so much. It's so suspenseful here. Rialku, though, just really needing to focus on where they are, really getting these picks. And you just can't afford it with this time. We're going to be seeing him drop through the hatch probably. And because there's only a few seconds left, getting the pick there, but because the diffuser's in the other room, it is way too... Yeah, it is not going to work out, unfortunately. Round 12 going to the Eagles. More rounds being added. We are seeing... It's no longer match point. It is going to be round
Overtime.
13. It is overtime. It is win by 2 again. So we are going to go back. Well, it's no more than 15 rounds. But we're going to be going back and forth, I bet. What went wrong there?
It's a bad site. It's a
It is a
really,
bad
it's
site.
a really tough site. You need to have someone up there to deal with the vertical play, because you saw at one point there were 3 attackers up there, and it's just gonna push everyone out. So I say try and go up there and try and battle them out. I really say that's the only thing, and it just really unfortunate gunfights where. And I'd say that's a really it's a pearl on the Eagle side. We've been seeing these really good gunplay mechanics from them, especially against Ice Helix. I thought Ice Helix was going to get that one, but then we saw Blackbeard Shield. You know, every once in a while you see those plays where it does save their life. It gave them that little push to win that fight. And I think that's what really turned the tide. It opened up the entire hall site for the attackers to plan on, and I think that was the real downfall for the Firebirds.
I think so. I agree the site's really bad. Now, the Firebirds, though, were holding really good off angles.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure the vertical play was... Yes, it forced them off the site, but the Firebirds were able to hold the angles so that if anybody were to drop into sight... Unfortunately, though, that happened, and Ice Helix not able to get that kill, and I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. But on second floor... you know, we'll see how this goes for the Firebirds on defense once again, running that Valkyrie, Jaeger, Smoke, Clash, and Mute, whereas the Eagles, Nomad, Maverick, Kali, Zero, and Blackbeard, you gotta be careful about that Kali, and I think that is the first person they have to focus on. Maybe the Maverick, but I'd say Kali or Blackbeard are the important ones, definitely, because when you have to if you have that Clash in play, it is so nice. Really able to focus on that intel, making sure that there isn't going to be any sort of issues with, you know, because you're able to kind of push forward and gather that intel of, oh, hey, someone's over here. Unfortunately, though, it looks like Boosted really holding a really good angle into the kids' room window. Might get a pick there. Xerxes, though, taking out the Zero, taking out Joller. Good pick for the Firebirds. Zero is a good person to eliminate because because Zero has anti-gadgetry, you know, being able to zap things with the Zargus cameras, destroying them, not just disabling them, but destroying them is something you do not want to be having in the field, and Joller is a great player. I mean, I gotta say, all of the players from the Eagles are doing really well. Every once in a while, we'll see a team where it's like, you know, they'll have 3 players who are really good at fragging and 2 who are going to be really good at supporting. We're seeing just even... from all of the Eagle players right now, we're seeing even, you know, fragging, even supporting, even just every aspect. You're seeing the Eagles be able to kind of adapt really well. So the Firebirds really gonna have to watch out for that, because it's not like they have one person they can take care of. Now, Ice Helix, though, getting a beautiful read on the Nomad. It is a great way. Now they know there's only 2 people in Attic, so they just have to worry about that remaining player for the Eagles. Unfortunately, though, Tuan getting staggered by the Kali shots. You got to have somebody kind of watch out for that. And I think there's a... I was going to say, I think there's somebody shooting. We're going to see the beautiful C4, though, from that play. Now, because Tuan knows that it's just...
wow!
Kidding. Xerxes playing that vertical play. Beautiful read by Xerxes. Oh my gosh, great communication there. Firebirds winning round 13. Tuan and Xerxes, I think that round we're performing so beautifully. You have that communication there. You saw Tuan was really taking it slowly, making sure, hey, I can get this intel, make sure I'm watching them, making sure I know where they are at all times. Xerxes knowing, hey, if they walk in, I'm going to be able to get that pick. They have to come to me. He's not trying to rotate around behind them, whatever, which is not bad, but that was a beautiful read there by Xerxes. So going into overtime match point, Firebirds, are now on attack, though. We are swapping back.
Protect your bombs.
What's going to happen here? They are on basement. The Eagles are defending on basement, running a Jaeger, Smoke, Kaid, Mute, and Maestro. Firebirds on attack. We're seeing Hibana, Maverick, Zofia, Ying, and Ash. What do you think about it?
I like it. It's very destructible, and you got a lot of things to. What's the word I like? Flexibility with it. I think the biggest thing right now for both teams is pressure. The last round, especially match point for the winning team, it is the most stressful round, and same time for the other team, for the losing team. This is going to be the most stressful round so far.
Yeah.
And it's just how you can manage that, and just making sure you need to do what you need to do, execute your plan perfectly or as well as you can, and just stick to it. So hopefully we see that from the Firebirds, and we can wrap this map up.
Yeah, now we do see Teshi switching off of that Ash onto the Gridlock. I think that's a great choice. They have enough destruction, so I think that Gridlock is going to help out with a lot of area denial, as well as maybe preventing some flanks from roamers. Now, basement, you know, I'm hoping the Firebirds, we're seeing them not commit to that construction push. We are seeing, it looks like Twan's going to be the only one from that construction push. It looks like Ice Helix and Teshi are going to be really kind of making sure to kind of go the other angles. Fortunately for the Firebirds, Ice Helix kind of pointed out and found out that there was a roamer from the Eagles on that first floor, so hopefully that's not going to cause any sort of issues for the Firebirds, and they were able to intercept him. Twan's going to be applying that pressure, though. This is what I'd love to see. You need to apply pressure from all different angles, because now the Eagles on defense are like, I don't know which angle to hold. You got to be aware of your 360 degrees. You got to be aware of every single corner and every single angle potentially that they could, you could get shot from. Whereas the Firebirds really able to kind of push in slowly, focus on, cause a lot of chaos. Will we see Teshi able to get a pick here, though? Or Twan, sorry. Twan to get a pick. We do see Wialku taking out Swolverine, though. That is going to be a good pick there. Going to be allowing the Firebirds to gain a little bit more momentum. A little less aggression is going to be put on them as they push forward, especially as that Jaeger. We do see they have a really good bulletproof camera, though. The Eagles set up on that staircase. If Teshi knows to shoot through the wall, though, we could have gotten a pick there, but unfortunately, Teshi can't see through walls. Twan taken out by Joller, though. That is unfortunate to see. Twan is on the camera, though, making sure to kind of trying to scope out that recon. The Firebirds, though, really having to push forward. I think they've lost a lot of time on these pushing elsewhere, pushing not from construction. They have to kind of open up these angles. Wialku kind of panicking there. Ice Helix, though, taking out the Maestro. That is going to be really good because now the Firebirds can plant without the Maestro camera.
This is good.
And Xerxes taking out Boosted. There's the smoke grenade going off, though, from Sky. The Firebirds really going to have to watch out for that because they can't really run through that. They have to worry about that. That being said, Ice Helix opening up that angle. Teshi's going to be planting. Got to get it off before that smoke grenade goes off. Come on, Teshi. Come on, Teshi.
1 second.
There we go.
All
Beautiful.
right.
All right, now we're going to see deploying those gridlock mines, those Trax stingers, making sure to force a lot of issues onto any sort of defending player because they have to kind of rotate to get to it. Now Joller is going to be pushing in.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Just a little bit of a pixel there. Joller, though, taking out Teshi. Will we see? Unfortunately, we're seeing a double kill here from Joller, and Joller getting a ton of damage there and getting picked off. It is now 2v1. Xerxes and Wialku against
14.
Sky. Sky having no more
10
smoke
seconds.
grenades. Really having to focus on the thing. Going to be trying to push, and it is now 1v1. Wialku
There's no time. There's no
versus Sky.
time.
There is no time.
There we go.
And Wialku getting that kill, securing that round. What a beautiful map from both of these teams. I was not expecting a match this close and this chaotic tonight. So I'm super excited to see what we have coming up in maps 2 and potentially 3. So what do you think? What did you think about that map?
Oh, I loved it. I love that the Firebirds found their rhythm, found their momentum. They were flexible again. They were just like, okay, this isn't working. Let's switch it up. Let's try going over here. Let's try doing this. And they were really good, especially on that one. We saw them trying to do that basement push while they're trying to open up everything. It didn't work before this time. it was just flawless. I'd say like they knew the picks that they had to get. They got it done, executed their plan. I am beyond happy, and I cannot wait for this next map.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break while we switch over to that next map. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
stay. Just stay away. 'Cause baby, we are fading. Just fade away. You're like voices on my heart. You're the voices in my scars. Running deep inside my soul. And it's tearing me apart. Maybe you should stay. Just stay away. 'Cause I'm about to break. Just break away. Break away. Just break away. Now I'm starting to see the drought. Baby, I could break from the edge.
Oh, I like that music. It was pretty good.
That
but
was
welcome
pretty good.
back, everybody. After map 1, we are heading into map 2 of tonight. Your Carthage Firebirds versus the Central Methodist University Eagles. Map 1, really back and forth from the Firebirds. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning, but the Firebirds came back, winning, I think, 3 or 4 maps in a row and really just kind of hitting it off. That being said, we went into around 14, so it was a close match, but we're heading into map 2 on Theme Park. What do you think the bans are going to be for theme park? I think Thatcher's a guarantee. Here.
I think that and maybe Maverick, to be
think-
honest.
Yeah, I think Maverick. Both teams are really utilizing Maverick, so I wouldn't be against that.
That would be a smart
Yes.
ban, but still, you kind of want to get Jack or Dokkaebi out of the way because Dokkaebi was still doing a lot of damage too.
I think
So it's up in the air.
I mean, this map they has a lot of really good operators, but I think it's definitely we're gonna definitely see. I think we're gonna see a Valkyrie ban. That's my guess. Maybe a Cade, probably Valkyrie. I'd say Cade because there's a lot of hatch play in this game. So Cade.
Yeah.
Well, this sorry for attack.
Oh.
Jackal. I wasn't even thinking of attack. On defense though, probably
Cade will
Mira
definitely-
though. Mira,
yeah.
that's my guess. Mira because Mira is just again just so good on this map. When you have all those reinforced walls, Cade though. Will it be Cade and Mira? If Mira is still in play, I will be kind of shocked.
Oh, most definitely, especially for Armory.
Yeah, well,
Or is
Cade.
it Throne Room?
Throne Room. I was like, what?
Oh!
That,
I
I
like.
That's a target ban if I've ever seen one. A little bit salty there that we don't get to see more epicness from Twad play Clash.
Oh, we'll still see some epicness,
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, it's interesting because we would see Boosted from the Eagles play Kali, really hitting those shots on Clash, staggering Clash, great window opening up for one of the Eagles players to kind of shoot the feet. That never happened though.
And they just
that
duck
never
behind
happened from exactly.
the wall.
They, Clash would be swinging and staggering a bit, but nobody would follow up on that. So it was kind of like a kind of it's weird. I think because now Mira's open to be played, and that is what we're seeing from the Eagles who are on defense first. We're seeing a Mira, Bandit, Valkyrie, and Doc. I don't think this might be the first time we're actually seeing Mira in play.
Yeah, I'm
No,
excited.
I lied.
for-
We've seen Mira play.
Well, yeah, a few times, but
few times.
this one, it's going to
Yeah.
be super strong on this map.
Definitely. Because Mira has these mirrors. Mira is Spanish for look. So that's how you kind of know what she does. She has these one-way bulletproof mirrors that you can place on walls that you could actually blow the glass off and basically shoot through it. So you got a window, and then you open the window, and it's
you look
like a
through the
window.
window.
It's like any sort of window in your car, in your house. You can open it. And then, we have Mai, who's got these super magnetized, frisbees basically that can magnetize and attract any sort of, throwable, like grenades, smoke grenades. And then there's Bandit, who's got a car battery.
Yeah.
But your
You
Firebirds,
need a car battery.
You need a car battery. It works out. And then Doc has just medicine. But your Firebirds on attack running an Ace, Dokkaebi, Osa, Ying, and Gridlock. Now, this second floor site, it looks like it's going to be... I forget which one that is. It doesn't look... No, it's... I think it's Vault and Office. Mm-hmm. I think it's actually Armory.
One of them.
I call it Vault, but it's Unfortunately, Icy taken out, but Xerxes getting that refrag. Beautiful play there. Beautiful refrag from Xerxes. Really seeing some really good tactical play here. Really making sure to move in together as a team. We are going to be seeing the EMP grenade going out onto the wall. We are going to be seeing a little bit of a bandit trick, though, it looks like. Bandit tricking, basically, we see Bandit who deploys the batteries and then will pick it up or redeploy it and such in order to kind of...
Ooh, that's some damage.
That is some damage on Wialku there, but wasn't enough. We did get a little bit of damage into the Bandit, but because the Doc is there, is going to heal the Bandit up to full health there.
Ooh, can we get a Doxton too for Welcome?
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
Hey, here. I got it. I'm sending that psychic message. Hey, Grinder02, please give it to... Oh, Wialku's gone.
Never mind.
Never mind. We jinxed it. But we have 2 Firebirds left, Xerxes and Teshi against 4 of the Eagles. 50 seconds left on the clock. Do you think this is going to happen? Do you think we could see Xerxes and Teshi come back?
Yes. Most definitely.
We see Teshi getting a pick there on Boosted. That is 3 people remaining for the Eagles. We do see the gridlocks on the staircases. Ooh, this is going to be good. We're going to see Xerxes knowing the call-outs
There we go.
Tying it up. Double kill there. Xerxes tying it up. But because there's 2 people left on site, it is a Mira and a Doc. And Doc is a very interesting person because he's able to revive himself if he's downed and heal up his teammates. Unfortunately, Teshi is downed in the process. C4 going out from Sky, taking Teshi out. Xerxes versus the remaining, and it's more and more damage being done. And we're going to be seeing doing a little bit of damage to the Mira, but it wasn't enough. Firebirds not able to take this round. What went wrong?
You know, in all honesty, I don't really know. I think, for one thing, I would say is like not really attacking from both sides. I'd say because they open up the wall, and they know they're coming from there. If you have another team to go deal with that Mira, that could have been nice. But other than that, I don't think the Firebirds did anything too wrong. They had great gunplay, and they had great synergy. But I think it's just having another group go from the other side. That's the only thing I'd say.
Personally, I don't like Ace. And I think it's because Ace is so easy to kind of bandit trick against. You know, obviously, they're easier people. You can bandit trick against a Thermite or whatever. But, like, I don't know. Just, I don't know why I said that because I realize Ace is technically the best hard breacher against the bandit trick.
Yeah.
But, like,
you have to jump in.
You have to jump in.
Fact.
And, you know, I think what we should have seen was maybe an Ashe or a Zofia who, you know, when that was... Well, no, because it was hard. But I'm not quite sure now that I think about it. I'm not quite sure what went wrong.
I think it was the right thing. The only thing, the Firebirds need to have someone on the other side because dealing with that Mira, that is really tough. Her gun is super fast. It's a high rate of fire.
Oh yeah.
And she's got her Mira up. It's really tough to deal with that, and that's why you really want to ban Mira, especially on this one. And we're gonna see now that they're in throne room. It's going to be really tough.
It is going to be tough. Now the Eagles are going to be running a Malusi, a Rooney, Bandit, Mute, and Doc. They are going full defense here. Full reinforcements. You know, you got the Rooney gates, but you got the Malusi who could slow people on site. You got the Mute who's just like truly unbeatable because the Mute jammers just, you got to be careful. They disable... any sort of, you know, gadgetry or drones or whatever. Unfortunately, though, Grinder reinforcing the door, and Tuan was like, oh, hey, this is my time.
Oh, no. No.
But Tuan, not knowing that Swolverine was in the initiation room and going to be meeting a similar fate there, just getting caught off guard. We all could, though, on the roof as Iana, rest of the Firebirds kind of pushing in from their respective areas. We all could probably going to be pushing in through the arcade here. And that vertical play is good, but you got to be careful. You got to really rush in. You got to worry about that time. And we are seeing Xerxes, and I believe it was Tuan with the, or not Tuan, probably Teshi there. Xerxes noticing somebody's in the back. They have the site, or the lines open onto site there, but the Mute is kind of just playing games with them. Really poking out. They're playing peekaboo there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hopefully we can see a push. And it looks like Welku might be using the Gemini cam. Oh,
yeah,
that's a good pick.
Finally getting that pick on the Mute. That is going to allow the Firebirds to kind of push in a little bit easier. Now, you got to be honest, though. They're not near sight. I mean, they have the wall open to sight.
Yeah.
They have the ground to cover.
But you can definitely, like, the defenders can obviously see them.
Yeah. Now, it looks like using our spectator vision, we can see that they're not actually on site. They're holding the door. They're holding the dragon statue, which is just off of point, able to kind of hold these long angles. I say that Sky is on point. Just kidding. Love when they prove me wrong. But... you know, Sky holding with those Aruni gates, that is something you really have to worry about. You do see, though, that all of the Firebirds have drones that they can use. Drones being able to destroy and disable those Aruni gates. Swolverine really trying to shoot out those gridlock tracks stingers. And Xerxes going to be planting. That is going to be allowing the Firebirds to really have some success there. A really good long angle downing Swolverine there. Sky is the last Eagle remaining.
Whee!
And Xerxes Wialku taking him out. What a beautiful play there from the Firebirds. It was a little bit slower than I'm usually, wanting, but it worked out. You know, sometimes slow and steady wins the race.
Oh, for sure.
number of times where we've said slow and steady doesn't win the race.
Well, you
a
know,
lot of times,
you
but,
know,
yeah.
wins it sometimes.
No, I think they were slow and steady. A lot of times we're just seeing slow, not steady. So
That's
we
a
are
good
technically right. But the Firebirds again on round 3. What a beautiful, beautiful round there from them. Downside though is they were really holding that angle onto throne room for a long time. All three of them. So you cannot afford to hold angles like that because there's the potential that the defender is just never going to move.
Yeah.
Just going to stay there. And if you're waiting for the defender to pop out, they're not going to because they shouldn't, I should say. If they're playing as they shouldn't pop out because you have to come to them. When you're attacking,
You're attacking.
You're attacking.
You're trying to take that space as a defender. You keep that space. So the one thing I was a little bit confused about is still having that roamer out. When knowing they're only pushing from one angle, I would just do what the Aruni had, that really nice angle onto the hard breach wall that was opened by the Firebirds, and just have another one just backing up that Aruni. I think that would have worked a little bit better in their favor, but at the same time, it was a great defensive round for them and a great attacking round for the Firebirds.
Definitely. Now on the defense for the Eagles running Malusi, Echo, Bandit, Mute, and Doc, whereas the Firebirds running Ace, Iana, Osa, Ying, Gridlock, very standard.
Dream team.
You know, the dream team. We say that. I mean, you got everything. You got the hard breach, you got the soft breach, you got the shield, you got the anti-roaming, you got the aggression with the Ying charges. Whereas you look at the comp from the Eagles, they have a lot of just anti-hard breach. Whereas, you know, we only have the 2 hard breachers technically. So you got to be smart. You know, that's all I'm saying. You got to be smart about it. Play it well. Make sure you know what you have. You can't be holding these angles. You know, you got to attack from different angles, attack in different ways. You know, open up a hatch, open up a wall, run in from behind. You know, and we'll see Tuan on that Ying though. And here goes more of that bandit tricking though as Ace. Now Ace, I believe the guarantee is at least 1 opening being made if you're going up against.
It sounds
the
like
bandit.
2.
They had. I mean, yeah. But if a bandit is tricking you, if a bandit is doing the trick, you're guaranteed, like, the time to deploy is just a little bit longer than the first explosion on the Ace.
Oh, wow.
Xerxes, though, getting a
That was
beautiful
good.
read. Beautiful read from the wall, through the wall. Now, you got to see here, though, we do have one of the Eagles holding that angle onto the site. And you can't do this. And we're seeing it again where they're just holding the angle. And I say that, just kidding. Xerxes able to kind of get a really good angle at taking Jawler out. So now they can push forward. Now they can have a good time, especially when you have that Osa shield in your back. Unfortunately, Xerxes is taken out of the picture, but Wealku is going to be ready for it. Going to be running in. Tuan will be using that Ying charge, taking 1 out, taking 2 out. The Echo wasn't even off this. I saw the outline of the Echo, and I'm like, oh, Tuan's going to run in, get the kill, and get, like, just... He's not going to have a great time.
Yeah, I had to check social media real quick, you know.
I was not expecting Tuan to get that double kill. I thought the Echo was going to leave cameras and kill Tuan, but it worked out in their favor, and I love to see it. But we're only on round 4, and we've been here for, it feels like a long time. So we are seeing more and more success from these teams, these players, and I'm hoping the Firebirds continue to gain this momentum forward as they gain more, knowledge of what to expect from the Eagles, especially now that we're on a new site. We're on the 2nd floor. The Eagles are on the 2nd floor, running a Malusi. No, I'm just kidding. They played the site before.
Yeah.
But they're playing a Malusi, Mira, Bandit, Valkyrie, and Doc, whereas the Firebirds running that Ace, Iana, Osa, Ying, and probably Gridlock. Same comp as what we saw last time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but hopefully this time they're going to be pushing from both sides and getting that mirror out of place.
Oh, yes.
That's really going to be the big differentiator here, I believe.
Yeah. It all depends on that. You got to be attacking from these different angles. You got to be watching out for these angles. You got to be watching out for the roamers, and that Doc especially, because the Doc can heal people. Mm-hmm. And that is not, you got to be careful, because one part of the game that a lot of people don't really think about is keeping track of how much health each person has.
Yeah.
There's always a call out of, oh, I hit them, I hit them to 50, hit them for whatever. Because then you have a mental picture of, like, okay, this person will be at full health, so I got to be really careful. Or, oh, this person's I just need to care about a single shot in their body.
Yeah.
And they're dead or whatever. But when there's a dock, there's that ambiguity of they might be at full health, they might be at no health. And I won't know really.
And same thing with the Kona stations too, is that it just puts that in your back of your mind. You want to try and secure that kill as fast as possible before they get to a dock or to a Kona station.
Yeah.
And same thing on a tech when you have Finka 2 now.
Yeah.
With the permanent heal. I love that change.
I know.
It
I'm
was
so happy.
Great.
It makes Finka so much better now at this point. I love it. And Finka was great before, but it allows her to really focus on more of a supportive attacker.
Oh, for sure.
Ice Helix, though, pushing in through bunk as Osa. Will we see... Looks like they're not even really trying to do the bandit trick here, but maybe they are. Because they've deployed the bandits. So, yeah, here we go. We're going to see both of the ace charges going out. Same push as what they did before, but we'll see how this goes.
It looks like Welku and Tuan are on the other side, so hopefully that they can surge them in.
Yeah. But it looks like Rialku and Tuan are going to be having a fight of their own. Ice Helix, though, taking out that bandit. Unfortunately, Teshi also taken out from the Firebirds, evening it out 4 against 4 here. Tuan going to be using the Ying charge to kind of push through bathroom. Now, bathroom is a very common place for people to hold. Or not bathroom. Sorry, control room into that walkway. I got this map. There's like areas that kind of look the same. I thought he was pushing in from the capture room. But that is control room. Unfortunately, though, the C4 taking out
there we
out
go.
Ice Helix, but Tuan was ready for it. Beautiful refrag there from Tuan. We're going to be seeing Xerxes planting here, and we're going to be seeing Tuan use the flash grenade to kind of stall, get that diffuser off, and able to do it. Now we're going to be seeing a little bit more of maybe some chaos there from the Eagles, kind of some aggressive plays here. Rialku might be coming in from the back, though, making sure to meet any sort of kind of catching the Eagles off guard as they kind of push towards the diffuser. Xerxes, though, we hear the C4 wasn't enough. Though the smoke was in the was obscuring the vision. Xerxes doing a ton of damage, not able to get that double kill though. Rialku trying to get those long angles. 10 seconds left on the clock. Xerxes getting another kill there. And
there
Xerxes
we are.
getting another kill. That was at least a triple kill there. It might have been I don't think it was a quad kill, but at least a triple kill.
Yeah.
So
Gets that KD up.
it gets that KD up that we do not take care of. We do not keep track of in this season. In this game, you know. When you're playing by yourself online, yeah, the KD's running up, but we don't look at that stat.
The amount of times I just press tab, I'm just like, even though I know it's not going to change, it's just like,
scoreboard!
it's like,
scoreboard! I went scoreboard!
and then you got to type it in. You got to be like, you know, I am going 8-2, which doesn't happen.
I can't believe you're bottom of the scoreboard, and I'm doing all my work. Yeah.
Oh, can't hear you from all the way up here.
Yeah. Nothing beats when I'm playing with you, and I'll say, "Oh, don't worry, he'll carry us," and you actually do end up carrying us.
The rare occasion.
The one time I say it, though, you know, this game is full of just kind of randomness in a sense. You know, one moment you'll be playing, you know, top of your game. One moment you'll be playing a little bit off your game. There are moments where you'll be having nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll get an ace just out of the blue because all of a sudden your nerves are set, your adrenaline is pumping, your focus is there, and you play as perfectly as you could. And we've seen that from our players. We saw that from Tuan earlier. So, we've seen that consistently from Tuan all night. So,
well, the name of the game, it's all about adjusting. You know, is that you need to constantly adapting to new situations, to new things brought to light. So, Firebirds, they're doing this same thing over and over, and they're changing it up slightly. But now it's time for the Eagles to try and do adapt to it.
You know, that's a pretty long name for a game. So,
huh?
You said the name of the game, and then we're talking about that. I said that's a pretty long name.
What did I say? Adaptability.
I made a joke there, and you totally missed it.
I'm sorry. I'm not very good at those.
You've made me feel awkward on stream. How dare you?
I will say, for their adaptability, they did bring a ward and they brought a pulse and an alibi. They're changing things up a lot. So,
and that is what you need. You need that, like you said, adaptability. And sometimes it's there from the Firebirds. Sometimes it's not. But, I mean, it's really working the strategy the Firebirds have here. So, I'm really liking what we're seeing. Unfortunately, Ice Helix taken out of the picture really quickly there. Rest of the Firebirds, though, kind of moving around, making sure to spice up their areas of attack. Unfortunately, though, because they have the diffuser, and we see they're holding the angle. Oh, but Teshi's able to grab the diffuser super quickly and carefully, throwing the track stingers just in the doorway, making sure nobody can run out without paying a price. Oh, but Teshi tried to throw it. Unfortunate, missing that throw there.
Hey, it works out. It'll spread to where. Ooh.
It's like the Chicago Bears missing those throws, you know. Always heartbreaking to see. Or the Detroit Lions missing those throws. Or the, I could go on all night. I'm going to go through every single NFL team outside of the Green Bay Packers.
What about the Vikings?
Missing those throws. But, unfortunately, Boosie getting a double kill there, taking out a ton of the Firebirds.
No.
Triple kill there. It is now Wialku and the diffusers being destroyed. Counter-diffusing. Frag grenade going out. Will it get the kill?
Oh, it won't.
It will not get the kill, and the Eagles are taking that round. Unfortunate to see, but hopefully the Firebirds can kind of adapt there coming out into this next round. Going into round 6, it is the last round the Firebirds will be attacking. What do you expect from them on this round?
I'm expecting trying to adapt to the adaptiveness. Like, there was a lot of changes that happened on that defensive round for the Eagles, and now it looks like they're bringing a Solis and a Capcan. So
what is with them playing Capcan on the last round?
I like it. It's good luck.
Capcan is great. He's a really good operator because it's kind of almost like a passive. You just deploy him and then you just don't worry about him.
Then you just run away.
Yeah, but the Solis is definitely going to be something the Firebirds are going to have to worry about. I say that, and then I look, and honestly, the only person who has to worry about that is the Iana. Maybe the Ace, but also like the Ace charges are very loud. So, like, chances are you'll be able to tell that there's an ace charge right there.
Yeah.
But, looking at the defense for the Eagles, Malusi, Alibi, Solis, Capcan, Doc, really good composition there that, honestly, isn't something... It's a lot of... you have Alibi and Capcan as, and Malusi trap-wise.
Yeah.
Doc can heal you up. Solis is intel. Whereas the Firebirds on attack, Ace, Iana, Osa, Ying, Ash, again. I don't know what to expect here from the Firebirds. I don't know if this is the move. It's not a bad composition at all, but it doesn't directly counter really anybody. That being said, IQ's out of the picture.
Yeah.
So you really can't do much about this. You're just gonna have to be very careful about the Capcan traps.
Yeah.
That is something you have to be paying attention to. You have to call out. And when those final seconds, you have to be watching out for it because that is the #1 time that you're going to get caught off guard. And we do see that somebody's going to be holding an angle, but it looks like Ice Helix already expecting that. Running in. But the drop, the opening up the hatch and dropping through. Great strategy there. Ice Helix taking out one of the Alibi prismas, as they call them. The holograms of Alibi. I just love also how everybody's name has something to do with their gadget, Like, Alibi. She's got, like, an alibi. It's her drone, you know. You got Doc. He, is a doctor. You have Sledge, who, this might shock you, has a sledgehammer.
What about Amaro?
I don't know. I was hoping you didn't bring that up because also Malusi. I don't know what Malusi means, but
there are some good ones, but I think the development team after a while they're just like, okay, I don't think we're gonna want to call let's see, Iana.
Ace, Iana, Osa. None of those make sense.
Oh, Gemini clone lady.
We're gonna name you Sledge because you got a sledgehammer. We're gonna name you Capcan because I don't even know what Capcan's saying. I think it's not Captain. I don't know. Anyways,
Captain?
Rainbow Six Siege, Rialku getting a pick on the Solis, which is going to be I think might be the most important kill of the round here. Xerxes, though, opening up a little bit of a floor there. Xerxes getting another kill there. Tushi and Xerxes really pushing it through initiation room. Ice Helix has the shield ready. We should see the Firebirds plant on the site that the Eagles are not on, and we see Ice Helix setting up that shield. Unfortunately, the impact grenade destroying that shield, but that is it. That is all the impact grenades that they have, that the Eagles have. And Wialku throwing that grenade, kind of stalling a little bit on that staircase. Teshi getting a double kill there. One person left, and they're going to be healing them. A little bit of an overheal there. But there's that claymore that they are able to really dodge.
Parkour.
Parkour. Doc's name.
Do you smell
Parkour.
tacos?
No. Anyways, we all could take it out by Grinder because they're not expecting Grinder to be from that side.
Very nice.
Unfortunately, Ice Helix able to meet that fate. What a beautiful play.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, the only thing in my head right now is
You're hungry. You said you were hungry.
Tacos.
Yeah, well, it's because you're hungry. So, we don't have any tacos in here.
I
So
want some tacos.
you've heard it here first. We don't have any tacos. But Eagles are going to be calling a timeout. What do you think they're talking about in this timeout?
Basically, I think it's going to be what are we going to do on attack now? Because it's going to be swapping over. How are we going to get this momentum back on our side? They made a lot of changes, and a lot of them worked, but then the Firebirds quickly reacted to a lot of it. And a lot of the Firebirds just used good gunplay to counteract it. So I think really just playing off their utility is going to be the big thing, and how to put a lot of pressure on the Firebirds on this defensive round.
Yeah. Now, what do you think the Firebirds are going to be talking about in this timeout?
Where to go? I mean, where's a good place to start? Because you saw that it was interesting that the Eagles, they like going second floor first, and they kind of put they put Throne Room kind of as their second one, and it's just where are they going to have like where are they going to get these next 3 rounds? They need 3 rounds to win. What's going to help them achieve that goal?
Yeah.
So, and how are they going to do it? I'd say bring a Mira. It's
Honestly,
at your disposal.
Yeah. I loved the compositions the Firebirds were running because they were able to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even switching up their comp. It was just, hey, we're going to play this comp a little bit differently here.
Yeah.
And it worked out beautifully. Now, going into this round, though, on attack, the Firebirds really having to switch it up a bit. Firebirds on defense, sorry, they were already on attack. But on their defense, they're going to be running a Jaeger, a Rooney, a Zami, Oryx, and Mute, whereas the Eagles on attack, they're pulling that Dokkaebi. They could be using the attacker repick, but right now they're running the Dokkaebi, Buck, Osa, Fuse, and Ace. Now, Fuse is somebody the Firebirds are going to have to worry about, but because they have the Jaeger and they have the Rooney, they have some anti-gadgetry for Fuse.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but some. But I think Buck is really going to be focusing on that vertical play here.
Yeah.
And that is something they're really going to have to watch out for. Especially now that Boosted running that Kali. Kali's going to be able to open up really long sight lines onto this room. And you just can't afford that. That being said, they only have 2 EMP grenades from Dokkaebi. So if
they got to make sure it works.
They got to make sure it works. The Firebirds, well, okay, I lied. They have the Kali Lances to destroy any sort of wall denial. That's what it's called. Wall denial. We'll see how it goes. Honestly, I think Boosted on that Kali is, I think, the biggest threat.
Yeah.
Fuse is one thing, but the Firebirds we've seen are able to really focus on playing those off angles, making sure that they can not play on site, but play angles on the site. So we'll see how this goes in the next few minutes here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, too, with Tuan roaming around and also has the unique ability to jump up and down vertically through hatches. I think that's going to be a big thing, and right now he's going over.
Unfortunately, Ice Helix taken out of the picture. Azami is that's unfortunate because Azami recharges their kunai, so no longer able to kind of have that consistency. What's been done is done. That being said, Oryx though, and I gotta say, Tuan really kind of, I don't know, not expecting that, I guess, despite it happening.
Oh no!
Using the Oryx, I think it was the Dokkaebi camera, the Dokkaebi call that was probably catching them off guard. Unfortunately, though, I just realized there are 2 Firebirds left and there are 5 Eagles left.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty scary, but we do have some really awesome Firebirds still alive.
Yeah. I mean, Teshi and Wialku, they could turn it around. Wialku really focusing on that roaming. And, I mean, there's a lot of time on the clock, though, so it is not in their favor. I'm expecting one of the Eagles to be planting very shortly here. Unfortunately, Teshi not snapping to that head movement there.
Let's see an ace.
Wialku's time for the ace. That's one. Will we see another Wialku ace? Another implying that we saw one previously. We have it, but will we see Wialku get the ace?
Oh, we will.
I'm hoping.
Here's number 2.
Number 2, come on, number 2. Am I number 2? Ah, no, I'm number 2. The moment he put his gun away, I'm like, there you go. That is how it goes. Every time I've played this game, it's like I'll hold an angle. Okay, I'll hold it.
And then you're like,
I'll hold
okay,
it. For like
I'm good.
45 seconds, I'll hold it. Nobody. And then the moment I put away, somebody will run in. It's as if they know. And that is a trend that has happened for. It's one of those trends in gaming that has happened in like all these FPSs, and it's consistent, and it's weird that it happens often enough that people notice it because it happens.
There should be a
lot.
phrase for that.
There should, but there isn't.
Because it happens everywhere, like
there
you said,
are, but it's-
universally.
I mean, there are some phrases, but they're very explicit, and I'm not allowed to say it on
Oh.
stream. So I mean, that's what I call it.
Let's call it the bearded man conundrum.
No,
The bearded man
I
conundrum.
don't want to be associated with that. Of all the things,
The beard conundrum.
yeah, sure. We'll call it that.
The paradox.
We'll call it toner time. We'll call it toner time.
I like.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, round 8. Firebirds still in the lead, 4-3 in the rounds. It is best. There's first to
10
best
seconds remaining.
first to 7. I don't know why I forgot that for a second. But we're here. We're fine. I know this game. Firebirds though on defense once again, running that Jaeger, Mira, Azami, Pulse, and Mute. Pulse. Twan pulling out that Pulse is going to be a really good choice. Wialku on that Mira as well. Now, the Eagles on attack, running that Nomad, a Twitch, Kali and Iana and Ace. Now, Twitch, what do you think of that?
I don't think it's the best idea. They're not running the F2, which the F2 with the infinite nerfs onto it. It's interesting, you know, like now that we have Brava, is that Twitch is not as strong. I still like it. I still like the Twitch pick, like rather than, you know, using it for the advantage. You can still destroy things and you get unlimited charges. That's a plus, but at the same time, people know where your drone is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so even with the Brava, like the 3, because it's 3 per drone for Brava, right? It's not gonna matter because people are gonna find it. They're gonna shoot it. So I really think that you just rather want to bring a Brava now.
I'm very disappointed we're not seeing Brava tonight so far. I'm really hoping we see
Yeah.
at least once. I want to see her at least once. That being said, the Iana is taken out, and unfortunately, so is our Azami, so is our Iced Helix. Wialku, though, holding that Mira window really well, making sure to gather all the intel of, oh, hey, they're pushing in, or oh, hey, they're not pushing in. Or unfortunately, though, Xerxes taken out as well. Wialku taken out. Firebirds really losing player by player here. Teshi is down. It is now Twan versus the world, and it is not looking good for him.
Yeah, Firebirds need to pick it up. This has not been a very good defense for them.
It has not, and I'm not expecting it to go go in Twan's favor here. Unfortunately, it is not good odds, and the fact that the diffuser has been planted, we are not going to see another. Yeah, I think he's going to accept his fate. There's no way really. I mean, I don't think even the greatest player in the world at this point.
Oh,
diffuser
still, I
planted.
would say go for it. Try and get that KD up.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say. I'm not quite sure. You're right. I mean, you should try at least, but again, I mean, I wouldn't say there's no shame. There's just no way.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, he might, honestly, what he might be doing is just kind of sitting away and talking with the team.
Yeah.
That 100% might be what he's doing. Because there was no movement there. He just kind of probably used that time to kind of just talk. And that's what, I think that was smart.
Yeah, that is a good strat, and I think they called for a timeout too.
Yeah, the Firebirds are taking a timeout, so we're going to take a quick break while they have that timeout, and we'll be back very shortly, so don't go anywhere.
The way you're moving. I like the way you step into it. I like the way you're moving. I like the way you step into it. I like the way you're moving. I like the way you step into it. I like the way
Welcome back, everybody. We are done with that timeout. Firebirds and the Eagles have communicated, and the Firebirds honestly probably use that every bit of that to their advantage. They've lost the lead. They've lost 2 rounds in a row, so hopefully the Firebirds can really change it up here coming into these next few rounds. What do you think they talked about during that timeout?
I think really, how are we going to switch up the operators that we're bringing? How are we going to utilize our util? And right now we're seeing that Warden, we're seeing a Pulse again, and we're seeing a good mix. I'm really liking this a lot better, but that Kali is going to be extremely deadly and hard to deal with, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Especially without a clash now, too.
Yeah. Especially without a clash. I miss those moments. It's a whole nother playing field when you don't have a clash, because you cannot afford to kind of move in and push in and get those that intel. And I think clash is so good on this map because you can just stand in a doorway and have next to no issue. But the Firebirds once again on defense, running a Valkyrie, Mira, Mute, Pulse, and Warden. What do you think of the Warden pick?
See, I like it. It's a really good gun, MPX, and you see it with Xerxes as well. So they're both running one of my favorite guns in the game, and it's just there's just not a lot of places where you will see the glasses working, and you do see some flash and some smokes on the enemy team, so could be done. But half the time I forget that ability even exists when I'm playing Warden.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever used it for the flash grenades because I'm usually just able to kind of run away.
But
I mean, I've used it for the smoke I think once or twice, which is helpful. But looking at the Eagles, they only have 2 smoke grenades and 3 flash grenades from Nomad, so I don't know. But
got both of them.
That is what you need to do as Twitch. Twitch can open up the Mira walls or the Mira windows with her drones, and unfortunately, Eagles taking out Ice Helix really quickly. Rest of the Firebirds, though, still kind of holding these angles. Unfortunately, though, with those Mira windows open, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Somebody might be watching you. You know, I always feel like somebody's watching you, and it's probably CMU. Oh, I did it again. I did it. Oh,
poetry,
I
man.
know, poetry. Hey, I'm in a poetry course, so it works. I'm learning something.
Send that to your professor. Get an EVA.
But, Wialku on that Mira, I think, is able to kind of really hold some really good angles. There we go, taking out the Nomad. Pretty good there. No more flashes to worry about, which is great. And I mean, Wialku did take a decent amount of damage there, though, so you gotta watch out for that. Twan not watching up the staircase, unfortunately, taken out 3 against 3 here. Xerxes downed by one of the Eagles players. Grinder taking Xerxes out, and Wialku really holding off the site onto upper arcade. Grinder taking a little bit of damage from Teshi. Wialku jumping down through arcade, lower arcade, I should say. And gonna be rotating around now. Teshi getting, I mean, that Kali Lance, kind of, I didn't really do anything there. I'm not quite sure what that was for, but, you know, we live. Oh, unfortunately, there, Teshi taken out. Wialku, no, never mind. I was about to say maybe there's someone. Wialku taking out boosted. The diffuser is ticking down. So, will Wialku get this 2K here? You know, the timer is not in their favor, but, you never know. Grinder especially having very low health. We're not seeing that positioning there from the players, though, I don't think it's really going to work out. The wall's still open, and now it's too late, yeah.
Yeah, what a bummer.
As I said that, he got killed. I was looking at the clock. Because I think it's like 8 seconds to defuse.
Yeah, I think it's
to destroy the diffuser.
I believe so. It's either 6 or 8. One of the 2.
I thought it was 8. It might have been 7.5. I don't know. I thought it was 8. But yeah, I could tell because that doesn't, when you're trying to counter diffuse, as they say, which is weird. I always say, oh, you're planting the diffuser. Oh, you're diffusing the diffuser. It's counter diffusing. It's just weird terminology here. Because normally you're planting the bomb, but in this, because Valorant and In Call of Duty, it's always you're planting the bomb. In this game, it's the opposite. The bomb has already been planted. You just have to destroy the bomb. But going into round number 10, the Firebirds are first time tonight losing, or first time on this map, I should say, losing. What is going through their do you think is going through their mind? What do they need to change in this next round?
I think right now it's just a lot of pressure being built up, and some of them, I don't think the Firebirds are being too careful for some of these things. Like they're just getting picked off in just the worst ways that you don't want to get picked off, with their backs turned and all that. I say just being a little bit more careful, just knowing it. And just knowing how to stick to the side, stick to the angles, just get back to the basics, and let's try and get this down. And really trying to avoid that Kali. But that's going to be tough.
Definitely. Now, the rest of the Firebirds on defense running Jaeger, Bandit, Azami, Oryx, and Mute, whereas the Eagles running Adokabi, Buck, Kali, Iana, and Ace. Pretty good compositions here from both teams, but I think because the Eagles have a lot of destruction and they're going to be playing that vertical play again, you got to be, well, maybe playing that vertical play. It is throne room, so the vertical play is there, but it's not the greatest. But we'll see how this goes. Now they're going to be pushing through maintenance onto the site. Unfortunately, though, they're able to get a hole onto site, a line of sight, but because Azami is there, we are seeing able to kind of patch up the hole just a little bit. Thermal, I didn't realize the Kali thing destroyed it, but the thermal charge going off from Kali, destroying that Azami wall that was opened or was deployed there by Iced Helix. Firebirds are doubling down. It looks like they're really focusing on the defense, really focusing on slow and steady. Seeing the frag grenade go out to kind of destroy that little bit of cover that Ice Helix was using. But it wasn't enough. Ice Helix peeking a little bit, getting that emergency. We hear the phone call going out by the Dokubi, but will the roamers be able to kind of turn that off, deactivate that unscathed? Ice Helix getting a little bit of damage onto the Iana, throwing the grenade, doing a little bit more damage to Jollar, but it was barely enough to really be notable. And just another those pixel angles. You know, Jollar had the advantage, I think, having a little bit of a high ground there. When you're standing up, you're higher than when you're laying on your stomach. Xerxes taken out by Boosted there. Teshi, though, peeking with the shotgun. Unfortunately, someone's peeking him as well, and he's taken out. Tuan as Oryx, 2 against 3. Wealku's on site, though, so we might be able to see some success here. Tuan gonna be kind of rotating around, though.
I like
this. I like this a lot, too. However, now they know. And they're going to just kind of do a pincer. They're doing a pincer maneuver. Boosted getting a triple kill there. It is now Wealku versus the world. Will it be enough? We're going to be seeing just a lot of intel being covered. And unfortunately, Wealku taken out. Eagles taking that round, and I believe are moving to match point.
We are moving to match point. This is a very, very scary game.
It is, and my voice is I'm not used to. It's been a while since I did this, so I'm not used to this. We're probably gonna be. I'm not gonna say that because we've had moments. Firebirds have come back from less. Yeah. From far.
Didn't we go from like two and
6 to 7 and 6, so or 8 and 6.
I have faith.
I'm hoping.
Put in the mind.
But map 3s are always fun. But I also don't want to be here because it's funny. We had an earlier game today too, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna be able to, get off, do some homework, be able to finish up early." And we're back. We're going to the map. We're probably, maybe, potentially.
No! Don't have that in your mind.
We are not going to map 3. The Firebirds are coming back.
We are getting food after this.
We are getting food. Yes, yes.
So I'm hungry.
We'll go get cake tomorrow. We'll get tacos later.
Can we get like the angel food cake?
Yeah.
With the vanilla icing?
No, vanilla ice cream. Chocolate hot fudge.
Or like
ice cream.
the almond glaze ice cream.
Almond glaze ice cream?
I mean almond glaze frosting icing.
No, I just want basic almond food. I want to add this stuff after the fact. Normal angel food cake is great. I want to add like
icing?
vanilla. Well, no, I don't want icing on it. I want it the way I want it, Tony. I'm not gonna go into your standards, you know. I'm not gonna I can't even put it into words. I can't even make the joke because I don't know what to say. But back to Rainbow. Back to the game, you know, what we're supposed to be doing. The Firebirds on defense once again, though. Eagles in match point. We do see Xerxes on Jaeger, Wialko on Valkyrie, Ice Helix on Azami, Twan on that Legion, and
that's a
Teshi.
nasty angle.
Yeah, that is a nasty angle that the Firebirds did not try and stop. So I'm not quite sure what went wrong there in terms of the setup, but I'm hoping that we can see, you know, maybe a little bit of success, because yeah, you have the site, you have the angle onto site, but if nobody runs into that angle, you know, you're not going to really get any picks. The drone not being destroyed, but Boost is going to be running in, going to be jumping in, maybe getting a pick here. Will we see one of the Firebirds be able to meet some resistance? Not quite, but we're seeing some pings go out on the map from Boosted, probably knowing one of the Firebirds is behind sight. Jawler is downed in this fight, but Grinder is not in range to revive. Will we see the revive here? We do see Wialku pinging that Kali, so Teshi might swing. I don't think Teshi's gonna swing.
I don't think so. No,
Teshi's
don't do it. Don't.
Teshi's gonna get the pick or get the down. Wow.
Very nice.
That was risky. That was very risky, doing a ton of damage to Grinder, though. And I mean...
Ooh, and all three are there.
Oh, Teshi's getting a pick. There's going to be the revive, though, it looks like, from the Ace. More and more damage being done. Unfortunately, Teshi is taken out by Boosted, but Boosted has a lot of damage being done. And we're seeing the impact grenades. What a beautiful play there. What beautiful communication from the Firebirds there. Could have been, you know, 3-3. The fight. We do see that Grinder is planting, though. So that is something the Firebirds really have to watch out for. Xerxes missing those shots onto the person who dropped. Missing that they ran away, though. And going to be getting Wialku and Xerxes getting picks. It is now 3 against 1, but the diffuser's planted. 30 seconds left, and there you go. So Wialku getting a double kill there, opening it up, and so now the Firebirds are all going to rush in and get the diffuser.
Hopefully they're going to share the diffuse.
Hopefully. No.
Oh, come on. Sharing is caring.
That's not how this game works, Tony.
Sharing is caring.
It's not Valorant. You can't just stop halfway
I mean, like, what if they all want to have a turn? Diffusing.
No, there's too much time. There was not
20
enough
seconds.
Yes, I know, but
they had enough time to share.
Let's say it's 7 seconds. What's 7 times 3?
21.
Yeah. So, not enough time.
That's enough time. They can they go.
No. Hey, Tony. Do you see who they're playing? The Firebirds have done it. The Firebirds are playing Lord Tachanka.
I like it.
The Firebirds have chosen
Are they going
Tachanka.
armory?
Firebirds going first floor throne room are going Tachanka. Now, the viewers at home, Tachanka is everybody's favorite in this game. Having a very mysterious persona. Can't see his face, but having a very big machine gun. An LMG.
Shumihas.
Yeah, and having a really weird gadget that basically shoots incendiary grenades, which is so useful.
Shumihas.
How long does it last? Do you...
Very, very low. It's like
4 seconds? 6 seconds?
seconds
okay.
about.
But how many? You have 14.
Yeah.
So what's 14 times 6?
14 times 6?
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
It's 84. So, 84 seconds. It's a minute and a half of Shumiha's fire if you play him properly. Keep doing the numbers. I'll continue commentating. Firebirds on defense 60. Running that Oryx, Jaeger, Azami, Tachanka, and Mute. With the Eagle, you're still calculating it.
Oh, you're right. It is 84.
Yeah. Eagles running that Dokkaebi, Buck, Kali, Iana, and Ace. Great composition there, though. The Dokkaebi is someone you're really going to have to watch out for. Boosted, though, doing the same strategy as before. But nobody's there, so they're really not going to have any sort of intel to gather outside of nobody is there, which is intel. I can tell you that's intel.
It's good intel.
It's not the best intel, but it's
decent
intel. Here we go though. Grinder maybe gonna be using these ace charges to open up that wall onto site. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, that was
We
smart.
do see the Jaeger 80s. I was about to say ADC. Oh my gosh. But you know, opening up the holes onto site, that is probably the best case scenario for the Firebirds there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That was a beautiful play there. With
Especially the ADSs on it. That was
ADS.
awesome.
Maybe Wealku knows what he's doing. I have a feeling, you know. Those Azami walls, though, you know, I'm surprised we're not seeing anybody kind of run up and destroy them. But we do see Tuan on that Tachanka. And it's still match point for the Eagles. So Firebirds really cannot afford to lose this. Getting that Iana, though, out of the picture, really good because they can stop worrying about the intel that those holograms use. The holograms. You talk. I'm taking water.
Hologram. Geminis.
The Geminis, the drone-controlled holograms.
Gemini replica. Oh no.
Oh! Teshi, though, taking out
That is
the
gonna
collie.
help.
Beautiful positioning there from Teshi. Xerxes taking out Grinder. The Firebirds are doing really well.
There we
5v1.
go. One more to go.
Come on, one more.
Get the Canadian.
Oh,
Uh-oh, Canadian
dang it.
gets the first
Wasn't
pick.
flawless. Wasn't flawless. But now they know. They know that Sky is there. Sky is in the red corridor. Wealku taking out Sky. I didn't even see. This is like just a little bit. What a beautiful read there by Wealku. And the Kickster.
Was he wearing like
The charm.
context for that? That was like
Yeah.
magnifying glass. Just get that 1 pixel there. That was
Yeah, that's the secret. Magnifying glass. No, binoculars. Every player has binoculars on. Every player is playing with an Oculus Rift.
what's that one like binocular, but it's one. It's like
A telescope?
yeah, yeah. I'm hungry, dude.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And we're on overtime right now. 5-5. Firebirds will be defending first. They're gonna be going throne room. And we're gonna.
What's the name of the binocular? That's just what? A telescope? Okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, going into overtime, 6-6. Firebirds still on defense. Running that Tachanka again. Same composition as before, I believe. Oryx, Jaeger, Azami, Tachanka, and Mute. Whereas the Eagles on attack, running that Osa, Thermite, Kali, Zero, and Ace. A lot of destruction.
Bomb and defuse it.
A lot of things the Firebirds are going to have to worry about. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. They're going to use their binoculars or 2 telescopes.
I will say
together.
English was not my first language.
If I strap 2 telescopes together, does that become just 1 binocular? You know?
yeah,
Real thoughts with a bearded man.
right?
And this is only map 2. It's not even that late. We're having moments like this, and it's only map 2. But the
Oh, no.
Tachanka
Run,
taking a little
Lord.
bit of damage there, but is able to reposition. Not able to really do any sort of notable picks, but we're going to see the Lance go out, maybe opening up that wall. We are hearing the Thermite charge go off. Xerxes taking out the Zero, allowing a little bit of backwards pressure to be put on the Eagles. Diffuser's been dropped, though, so that is something the Firebirds can really play to that strength. They can really just focus on guarding the Diffuser, or at least Xerxes, I should say. Rest of the Firebirds still kind of hold these angles on the defense because it's, you know, the Diffuser's there. Just that. You don't have to worry. Like it's likely they're able to get back to the Diffuser because if one, you know, that should be their main priority. But the rest of the Firebirds should really kind of just continue what they're doing. Unfortunately, though, Teshi taken out, but the refrag. They traded, though. Sorry, Teshi and Sky traded. Ice Helix taking out,
go.
boosted. Firebirds gaining a really good lead here. It is now Ice Helix, Wealku, Tuan, and Xerxes against Swolverine and Grinder. Grinder taken out, though. It is now just Swolverine versus the rest of the Firebirds. Swolverine versus the world. So.
Oh, look at that
Oh,
charm.
hey, there's the Diffuser. That's a really cool charm.
That's
yeah.
a nice charm.
Yeah. I like Wealku's more though. That being said,
That one's fancy.
Swolverine just took a ton of damage.
Oh, I know.
So it is not looking good. It is possible. We have seen situations like this before.
But Firebirds still need to kill some time.
They
Like
do,
50
and they
seconds
shouldn't
left.
push. Ice Helix should not be pushing. I know. I was,
runs
I was
away.
gonna say, I was like, I'm going to go out there and yell at him if he pushed, because that is like, you do not push. When there's one person left, you don't push. But that's what you do.
Oh, wow.
You kind of just,
Welcome.
yeah, Kickstar. Love the. Boop. That was beautiful. I love that because it's like a Capkin trap. The last thing you would expect. That is something I love
A
about.
Capcan trap in human form?
Yeah, it's Wealku. Overtime match point. Firebirds are on that match point, coming back, but it's not over. We could see the Eagles win this, and we go into round 15. So we will see. What do you?
Someone's call it.
Oh,
Kevin.
anyways, so I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I told you they come back from this.
But
it ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over till it's over. I always say that. I say it until you see the words "victory" on the screen. It ain't over.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care what anybody says. You could see the Eagles come back, and we've seen back and forth all night. So the Firebirds, though, should not be too aggressive. They need to still remember they could lose it here.
Yeah.
They could go into a map 5 or map 3. So here we go.
Yep.
Xerxes, Wealku, Ice Helix, Tuan, Teshi for the Firebirds. Running Ace, Iana, Lion, Ying, and Gridlock. Whereas the Eagles, Swolverine, Sky, Boosted, Jawler, and Grinder 02. Running Mira, Oryx, Azami, Valkyrie, and Doc. So the Firebirds on attack, switching off of that defense. I'm curious how this is going to go.
Yeah, and this is the site that a lot of the Firebirds have been having some trouble pushing.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be a game changer with that Lion.
I agree, especially when you have you do have the Ace for the hard breach, and unfortunately that's all the hard breach you have. But you have 2 sets of EMP grenades, so you should be able to open up holes on the site without any sort of issue. And if the Firebirds are not able to with all those EMP grenades, I have many questions, especially since the Eagles aren't running any sort of wall denial. I just realized they're not running any wall. The only wall denial they have is Mira, technically, and
she is the wall.
She is the wall. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm
hopeful, but very scared. I do not like this
full
site.
of hope. But Ice Helix popping that Lion scan could be marking one of the players, one of the Eagles. The downside, though, we do see one of the there is going to be a Eagle who's roaming on that first floor. So, Boosted taking a ton of damage there from somebody. I'm not quite sure who it was. I believe that was Xerxes. That's the downside of this game. There's so many different angles, so I'll hear what's happening, I'll see what's happening, but I don't see what's happening.
Ow!
Xerxes taking a ton of damage, though. Unfortunately, not able to get any sort of kills there. Swolverine was able to finish him off. However, we are seeing that Azami get healed back to full health from that dock, and we're seeing another Lion scan go out to no success there, no intel gathered. However, Ice Helix kind of pushing in just slowly but surely here. Jawler, there we go. Ice Helix taken out, unfortunately, but Wealku getting a pick on Grinder, getting the dock out of the picture. It is now Wealku, Tuan, and Teshi for the Firebirds. Really slowly pushing up. 50 seconds left on the clock. Teshi using that drone. Wealku taking out Sky, evening it out. 3 against 3. 45 seconds left on the clock. Firebirds are really needing to step up this pace because they're not in sight. Tuan using that Ying charge, making sure to kind of cause some chaos, cause some issues. And we're seeing that Ying charge go out again. He is on site. Will we see? We're seeing all of the other Eagles players on the other site. Taking out the Valkyrie. Tuan getting a pick there. Will we see? We're seeing 2 of the Eagles players on that site that Tuan is not. So if Tuan had the diffuser, he could plant. However, it looks like they're just guarding the diffuser. Wealku getting a triple kill there. And the Firebirds are going to have a great time tonight and secure the win. What a match. What a team to play against. The Eagles. I was not expecting a match like that tonight. I was expecting it kind of what we've seen previous weeks. that might have been one of the toughest matchups we've had all season.
Yeah, I know. That was extremely close, but Firebirds bring it back 4 rounds in a row to take the second map. That was absolutely amazing, and great opponents. That was just so much fun.
That was a great opponents to play against. I think the Firebirds really dusting off those cobwebs. Now I gotta say though, play of the game definitely went to Twan as Clash, and we have a little bit of a graphic there coming up shortly. But I think I'm so excited to see what these teams have in store for the next couple seasons. We will be right back after some. We'll be getting ready for our post-game interview. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be, but I could probably take a guess as to who it's going to be. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that interview.
If you save my life, and it all comes down to this, I'll be going crazy thinking about you. You might save my life. If you save my life, I'll be going crazy thinking. If you save my life.
Welcome back, everybody, to our post-game interview after tonight's Rainbow Six Siege matchup. Your Carthage Firebirds versus the Central Methodist University Eagles, and what a match it was. Back and forth all night. Both maps 1 and 2 going into rounds 14. What a series. But one star player tonight really creating some amazing plays.
Yeah.
Joining me at the interview, Twan, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Last game was a little too stressful, but we ended up getting it done. We picked up the communication towards the end. We coordinated a little more, so we left on a good note. I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, well, and I just want to highlight the Clash plays tonight. Playing Clash map 1, despite that Kali though, what was going through your mind while you're playing it? Like, were you kind of scared of the Kali, or were you like?
No, sir.
No?
I know when Callie shoots me, it knocks my shield, so I just turn towards her. And I always had a teammate playing close near me, so I knew they wouldn't just allow me to just get taken out too easily. So
yeah,
they was able to play off me.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, your Clash plays, I called it at the beginning, and I'm so glad I did. Time and time again, it's always fun to watch because you play it not overly aggressive until you need to be. But, going into map 2, your Clash was banned. What was your reaction to that?
We kind of thought about the target ban. We knew it was coming. It's happened in past weeks where they would ban one of my Ying or Clash. So we kind of knew it was coming. So we kind of just adjusted off that. And I don't really play Clash on that map, so it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, Clash I think is pretty good on that map, but we've seen you play Oryx on that map and have some really fun plays with that.
Yeah.
But on map 2 though, you guys started off, kind of not so hot, but coming back, I think winning 4 or 5 rounds in a row. Like, what happened? What were you lacking? And then you kind of picked back up.
We noticed that we were just getting a little too scattered sometimes, just with our comms and where we were pushing. So we kind of just slowed it down, talked about it, switched up the things that we were doing to try something new, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely showed. It was a great couple rounds there, seeing you guys really regain that momentum. And some of those being super close, but you guys really evening up the odds, then having some, it was very clear communication was pretty strong throughout the entire match. But last question I have for you is, going into next week, what is something you guys are really confident on and something you really want to work on?
We're really confident with defense. We feel good on almost all the maps, and we know how to make adjustments on the fly as we just showed. But like what we need to work on, saying it again from like last week or last match, kind of just on attack, moving just a little faster in certain situations, and that'll get us through a lot more rounds, a lot more wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of an easy thing to work on. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes don't hold an angle for as long. Maybe literally set a time limit of I'm going to hold this angle for 10 seconds. If I can't do anything in 10 seconds, I'm moving. But overall, I think you guys had a great match tonight, and I'm excited to see what you do finishing off the regular season and going into playoffs. I'm really excited. And I believe next week is the matchup, we're number 2 in the division against the number 1. So it'll be a great match next week. But thank you for joining me afterwards. To the viewers at home, thank you so much for watching. We will be back Thursday night at 7 p.m. for some Overwatch match. I believe it's against Northwestern College. It'll be just a scrim, it sounds like. It looks like the team we were supposed to be playing forfeited, so we get that win, we get that dub, and it's just going to be a little bit of a scrim there. But be sure to watch because it is going to be super fun. Super fun to watch. Overwatch is always fun. But thank you so much for watching, and have an excellent night.
The high Wheaton shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, are you kidding me? Donut S. Donut over behind. We're gonna see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play!
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.